Hello, and welcome to our episode this evening as we just kind of sit around and try to keep our internet speeds high enough to stream to you as we do some dice rolling, a lot of laughing at each other, and some collaborative storytelling known as Dungeons & Dragons. We are Loot Die Repeat, and we come to you every Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern-ish, here on Twitch, and we are so thankful for you being here with us as we continue to tell our story. If you would like to catch any of the past episodes, you can go online to our YouTube channel. You can also check out our Twitter at Loot Die Repeat and our Instagram, LDR_DM, for ongoing little interactions and community building. We love to interact with you guys and to just build this fun little community that's coming around this show. So we just love having you here, and as a way of saying thank you, we're going to be giving away some of these guys over here floating around on your screen. We are going to be giving away the Knoll and the Adventurer, as well as those cool blue dice. Those are definitely going to be given away, 2 separate giveaways throughout the course of the evening. If we get 3 new subscribers, then we're going to throw in that premium minifigure that's kind of in the background there, which are super cool. They kind of do a special paint job to some of the sculpts that come unpainted that you can paint yourself. So that's a cool one. And we got a new dragon up for giveaway now. It's a really cool sorcerer dragon. And when we get the next 50 new subscribers, we'll be giving that guy away. So we just are so thankful for all of you guys and want to show that each week through those giveaways. Of course, you can also cheer and affect the game. If you type in !rewards, you can see all of the different ways that you can cheer and affect the game with bits for potions and for advantages and disadvantages and all kinds of things like that, which I will tell you absolutely changed the outcome of the battle last session, and it allowed for some of you guys to stay alive, I think. So
thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Mike, we appreciate your help there, and all the rest of you who cheered and who impacted things. So without further ado, we are going to jump into our episode with a little recap so that you can kind of understand the context of where we are. So our adventurers, known as the Shades, have been in Serloon, a port city on the Sea of Fallen Stars in the nation of Sembia, and they have been sent to investigate some of the strange happenings that have been going on in the city, knowing that somewhere in there is a thread that leads to the connection with what's going on with a massive storm that is roiling in the northwest above the Anorak Desert. And so they have been investigating, and currently they have been trying to track down Captain Tooth, a captain who failed to deliver a mysterious object of power to the lady, and who is now on the run for his failure to do so. They have investigated first the Sanguine Cathedral, where he was believed to have been hiding out, and not finding him there and cleaning out the crypt of its undead presence. The party last week investigated the ruins of the Geyser Inn, a formerly kind of swag place for people to vacation and to rest and get away that had fallen into disrepair and destruction in the throes of the last war in this region, and they investigated it to find some large creatures which had now inhabited the ruins. A giant crab creature that seemed to be eating something, and lurking in the waves that were bubbling with heat and with the power of the geyser kind of erupting from time to time, lie a hydra, which attacked them along with the crab and nearly took out Oliver and June, both of whom were knocked unconscious. And thanks to the quick efforts of Killian and Morthos and the rest of the team, Rubius in taking out the Hydra's heads one by one, and everyone else contributing some illusions from JB and generalized smashing by Ray, the party was able to overcome these aquatic foes. And as the water stills and the ruins fall silent, with kind of heavy breathing from Oliver, who has a large gash across his chest, and June likewise kind of across your waist as your side has been split open, currently mended through healing power, but both of you feeling weak and on your last legs. You all take a collective breath as the threat seems to have eased, and you find yourselves with the remainder of the ruins, some of the beautiful marble stone columns that had remained knocked down into the water. Some of you are right on the edge of the field of mushrooms and polyps and pollen that had knocked some of you out of action through the sneezing and congestion as you breathed it in. And some of you standing on the water's edge as you are kind of looming over the carcass of the now still, I think it was up to 6-headed Hydra, several of which are just kind of floating in the water with the purplish reddish ichor of its blood just kind of seeping out. And so Shades, having encountered yet another difficult combat, you were successful. And as the sun kind of looms in the sky, it's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you do next?
I pick up the dragon breath potion.
Okay, so in the commotion of the fighting, you had uncovered in the muck and the mire of the area around the geyser a glint of kind of swirling orangish light that emerged out of a glass kind of vial that reflected off of the sun, and you go over and you investigate it. And go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Crit.
Would that be an omen?
In your former adventuring days, you'd seen something like this before, and you believe that this is a potion that will allow the one who imbibes it to breathe fire for a duration. You'd need to take more time with it to determine exactly how long, but certainly an effective attack against enemies at close range.
Ollie! And Ray's gonna jump across the stone arch that fell, running through, kind of like holding her breath. She remembers the choking gags that it had. Ollie, Bart! She scoops him up, Oliver in one hand, and then she kind of cradles Bart in the other hand, and she rocks him back, and she's like, Ollie, Bart, are you guys okay? And then she sees June on the ground not far away, and then she goes, June! And she runs over to June. Wait. She puts Bart's tail around her neck a little bit, holding him up higher, and scoops up June on the other hand, snuggling close. I was so worried about you guys, and oh my goodness, you're still bleeding. Bart, heal, quick.
Okay.
Can you do anything?
I bet you're happy to be alive.
I can...
Killian, can you do anything for them? You gotta save them, Killian!
It is 3 in the afternoon and we're both up. Like, I mean, I'm hurting, but as long as we don't fight anything today.
You're okay? Are you sure?
I'd like to rest.
You're not acting normal. You must be hurt.
I mean, I'm not doing too good. There's a lot of blood loss, and I see 6 of you right now.
I'll keep holding you
and
then.
That creature over there has 6 heads. Is that real?
That was real. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You counted right. Yeah.
It's
Bloody hell, haven't you ever seen such a creature before?
Nope.
No, can't say I have. June, are you okay?
Never better.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold my hand up and then just like tap myself and just heal some with my hands of healing.
Okay. So you use your key point and you get
9 points back.
9 points of healing as you watch as she kind of massages her shoulder and her side, and the skin begins to close and reform in the area where the large pincers had almost cleaved her in two.
Is your drawing hand okay?
Oh, that's a good question.
Are you good to draw me still? I never got my picture.
It's like covered in blood. Yeah, this'll work.
This will heal? Okay, good, as long as it's okay. And you're okay, of course.
It might just be finger painting for a while
Okay.
with my blood.
I really thought that was quite fun.
Can I suggest that maybe we take a look around and start to set up camp for tonight? That will definitely bring about some restoration to all hurt friends. But I would like to maybe check out the...
I'll set up a big fire so everybody's who's sick. No fire?
Maybe not a big one. We don't want to attract unwanted people
Too much
around.
attention.
Yeah, but I think we should probably check the nest graveyard bones
I guess we should look
to see if
Captain, what is his name? Hook?
Tooth.
Tooth. That's it. Tooth.
We should probably
Too
see
many
if
stories.
there's any remnants left of him over there.
Let's see, yes, see if there's anything that might identify if he was or is here.
That's a good idea.
What would identify Captain Tooth?
That's
Well,
a good question.
That's a
Ship
good
clothes,
question.
of course.
Does he only have one tooth?
Well, all sailors have those seagoing boots. Look at Ollie's shoes.
It's true. I don't have boots, but if I did, they'd be seafaring.
That's right.
Well,
He doesn't have boots. I was just being silly.
Ali, you do have his mannequin, no? You know how big he might be.
I threw that out last time because you told me it didn't matter.
It doesn't.
We
I
have
was
to go
being
back to the
sarcastic.
Sanguine Cathedral so we can get that, now that you're telling me it's
I
important.
can go over tonight while you're healing up by the fire.
Ray, that was like 5 days away.
I'll be fast. I have really long legs.
I just have one question. Where's the crab's body? We were gonna make crab cakes. Tell me you at least got the crab's body
I think
while
it's
I was
over there.
bleeding out.
So as
sea
the
ate it.
erupting earth had kind of smashed into the Hydra and pelted it with the force and the
My bad.
it had also knocked the crab's body up, and it's near, but it's floating maybe 15-20 feet out in the middle of the geyser
The boiling.
in the
crab-
boiling.
I'll tell you
that's
something.
right.
I'll tell you something, June.
The Hydra's still near the land.
The Hydra is still near the land, yes.
Morthos would like to try to collect blood from the Hydra.
Okay, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
There's always someone on the team who's obsessed with blood.
18.
You
Maybe
get
he
a
learned.
vial of Hydra's blood.
Nice.
June would like to do that as well.
Okay, do you have vials to put it in?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I have many vials.
Oh, the vials.
All right, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Hmm. 22.
You also get a vial of Hydra's blood.
Rubius is just going to sketch the crab to put into his encyclopedia.
June is gonna sketch him sketching the crab.
Okay, very good. So,
Water spider.
Would anybody like to go investigate with me?
I will gladly come help you. Does anyone have, by chance, maybe something that could help us in our investigation?
I give him a kiss on the cheek. That should help you.
Have a
Oh.
crossbow.
That's not what I meant.
Well, it saved your ass last time.
Well, not mine,
us
but
is
maybe
if-
somebody's.
If you give me a moment, I'll look around for some magical items. Perhaps that would help.
Mm-hmm. So will this. High five, Morthos. You are now guidanced.
Ah, I like that one.
okay, so you have 1 minute to use your guided assistance from Killian. And what are you trying to do?
Really, I'm
I'm-
just going to search every corner
I
of
see.
where we were.
I see. Perhaps I should search real hard throughout here.
Okay.
I will cast a spell out of my hand onto myself. Exceptional wit. And then...
would you like a high five too?
Oh, it's
you can
always...
only do one at a time.
It's always...
Oh, well, I'll kill in that one, and it's a concentration spell.
Correct.
It's just a normal high five.
What happens? Nothing.
Retract that one.
You have to actually roll Constitution when you make contact.
Give you this one.
So, Morthos, you and Killian are investigating the body. You said that was over in the corner? Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
And what's the guidance?
D4. So you approach the area where the crab was first found that was kind of chomping at something, and you do find a mangled corpse in the midst
18.
of several other skeletons and bodies in various states of decay. And as you look, you see that kind of the chest and torso and quads and back and arms are mostly, like, all the meat is mostly picked off of this individual. You can't tell if it was a man or a woman, but you do see the clothes of it, which are still kind of in tatters. And based off of your investigation check, this looks to be someone who was frequented the seas. There is kind of typical sailor's garb. It does, in fact,
What about his
have
boots?
a pair of leather boots. There are what you can see of the arms. There were tattoos that are now kind of all mangled. You can't tell what they were of, but you can see the ink in some of the skin that's about. You see a bandana that's kind of pulled off of the shaved bald head, and there's a empty scabbard that is just kind of attached to a belt that is on the side, as well as a crossbow, hand crossbow, which is attached to its side, the other side of the belt, and a quiver.
Guys, I found the remains of someone who appears to have been sea-going. I have no way of knowing if it was Captain Tooth or not, but...
Does he have a hat?
No, he has some boots.
How about a hat, though? Every captain has a hat.
Every
That's
captain
true.
has a hat.
Yeah.
Hat and boots.
Wait, I don't have a hat.
I'll get you a hat, Ollie.
All right.
Morthos, can I have money to buy Ollie a seafaring hat? A captain's hat?
Probably tricorn.
Yeah! Maybe with a long feather in it?
I'd have to cut holes in it, though, so my ears poke through.
That's smart. That's smart.
Does he have a hat?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
I don't know.
guess it could have fallen off, though.
But there is a hand crossbow and a quiver here if somebody would...
I would like to analyze it.
Here, you can...
Is it better than the one I have?
Go ahead and roll a investigation check. Steve, you had cast... I'm sorry. JB, you had cast Detect Magic.
Who is this?
Who's this Steve fella?
Yeah.
Okay. As Rubius takes the quiver,
Natural 20.
Oh, he critted.
Wow. First two rolls.
Actually, that'd be an 18 now.
um,
I'm not keeping investing.
you look at the hand crossbow, and yours is of a sturdier make. It is certainly, in a pinch, would do. You could take the string if you wanted to restring your own, but it's about the equivalent. Okay, so you have an extra crossbow string. Go ahead and put that in your inventory.
I'll remember I have it.
I like the
You
crab
you open up the quiver of bolts, and there is about 15 of them in there. And at about the same time, JB, you detect an evocation aura coming from the side of the quiver. Rubius, you find another compartment that's kind of attached around. the quiver, and you open it up, and there are two very fancy bolts in there. One of them is made of has a brass bolt head and brass fletching, and the other one has silver bolt head and silver fletching, and there's on the brass one there's a brass filigree down the center of the bolt shaft, and silver filigree down the center of the silver bolt shaft.
I say there's magic in those bolts.
You don't say.
JB, please roll a perception check.
What does it look like it does?
20.
You are also guidanced, but that doesn't matter. It passes. You find both with your detect magic. As you watch, as JB's eyes are kind of glowing a light bluish, yellowish kind of flicker. You see him look at the bolts, and then out of your peripheral of your eye, JB, you see what looks to be two glints of light coming from the boiling water.
I thought so.
And as you kind of creep to the edge, careful to stay away from the spores, you look, and at about the middle, and the water is very, very clear, despite the heat and the blood that seems to be diffusing throughout. Water is very clear at one of the deepest points, and you do see what looks to be a skeletal remain with some armor and someone who was obviously killed by the Hydra or whatever. And you can't quite tell, but one of the auras of magic seems to be transmutation, and it looks to be roundabout where the hand is, the right hand. And the other aura is evocation, that are kind of coming from both hands, that kind of go up to about the middle of the forearm on each. And this is just kind of out in the middle. You can't tell how deep it is because of the clarity of the water, but you do see it out there.
One was evocation, one was what?
Transmutation. I'll confirm that. And I didn't actually look it up, so I believe I'm correct on first.
How far down is that?
I'll roll a investigation check to see if you can determine the depth of the water.
25.
It looks about 20 feet down, but it looks much closer, but given the clarity of the water and kind of doing some calculations, you think it's down about 20 feet.
What you looking at over there, JB?
Well, I do see some magic in the water.
In the water?
Down at the bottom of this hot spring, and I have deduced that there are multiple objects down there that I'd like to get my eyes upon.
Is one my coin?
How?
I can verily say that I have not seen a piece of coin in this water.
Can you point me in the direction? I might be able to retrieve them for you.
Evocation.
Well, I would be very careful. The water is very hot.
It is very hot, but I feel like I am somewhat accustomed to the heat. It did not bother me as much when I was in it earlier.
How far away is the? How far?
Oh, it's right over there. Can't you see it?
It's about 20 feet down as he points, and it's about 40 feet into the middle of the little pond there, the boiling pond.
Oh, you can walk on top of water, can't you, Morthos?
I can.
And then just send your little echo friend down, right?
Oh no, I believe I would still have to dive under the water.
I can just mage tail it
Can you mage tail that far?
30 feet ish.
Thought you said it was 40 feet away.
It is.
I thought you said 20 feet down.
40 feet out, 20 feet down.
I can also walk on water because I have a ring of water walking.
But you might burn your feet.
Can you handle the heat?
I don't know.
Well, go ahead, by all means, try it.
I can also turn into some kind of swimming animal if we think that may be of use.
Would you burn?
Would you? Yeah.
I don't know. That would be.
So we all gotta find this out a little bit.
Morthos just walks out on the water.
I can shoot things.
Okay. Morthos walks out,
That's pretty good.
and you are following the finger of JB as he kind of points, because it's difficult for you to see what's going on. You kind of follow it, and you make out a humanoid form about 20 feet below you as you stand, as the heat from the boiling pond raises up because of your fire resistance, and you're not going into the water. You're not taking any damage. You're fine.
I have an idea.
What is it?
I stand on your shoulders. You walk out. I send my mage tail down to pick it up. Best of both worlds.
You guys think he's dead?
I actually think that's a pretty brilliant idea.
Come back to shore.
I'll come running back to shore.
And I back up. And I run and lemur him.
Oh gosh.
A full
Roll an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
I may need some healing.
As he's running, Juna's just gonna smack him on the back and then see if she can put some healing back into him.
22.
Go ahead, June.
Smacks too hard, sends him into the water.
Throws my trajectory off.
8 points of healing to you, friend.
Okay, very good.
That's good.
I'll take it.
So you got 8 points of healing as you jump up and just kind of like latch on to Morthos's back.
Get your damn claws out of me.
Oh, sorry. Natural. Sorry.
And Morthos barely even flinches as you feel, Oliver, for the first time, the strength that is within his frame.
Oh. and Bart starts like rubbing his biceps. All right, yeah. Hey guys, he's really strong.
And so you have an Oliver on your back and a Bart caressing your arm.
Yes. You know, you can stop that now.
They do say,
I'm not doing it.
they do say it can't secure
Boss,
us.
I don't
knock
like
it off.
it.
He doesn't want you to do it. You got to respect his boundaries. Yeah, I know you want to feel his arms, but you got to thank you.
Okay, and so you get out above, and you look down. You see the silhouette of the corpse.
I need you to bend over 90 degrees so I can see. Because right now I'm just looking at the back of your head.
Is that you talking about?
Bart doesn't talk, silly. He's a tail.
All right.
Bend over.
This seems a very
Periscope
stupid,
down.
But all right.
Oh yeah, there it is. All right, Bart, do your thing.
You watch as Bart kind of unfurls, looks down, and makes a gesture in the air, and kind of moves forward as a spectral tail emerges under the water and goes and picks up what looks to be the left skeletal hand of this corpse. And it is less than 5 pounds, and you're able to pick it up out of the water.
Oh, the whole skeleton.
Just the hand. The hand kind of comes off of the skeleton. As you're looking now, you do see it is a what looked to be a rather small, not halfling small, but maybe between a dwarf and a short human. So not terribly tall, humanoid form.
Okay.
No armor per se, but like a tattered and ratty robe, which looks cut through and pierced through. You have the first hand. You send him down again. You grab the second hand, and as you carefully look at the two hands, you find on both a pair of gloves, and the gloves are, despite the condition of the robes, are in exquisite condition. They look completely unweathered, and the fingers are white that kind of blends back to a blue, and then has an insignia on it of a what looks to be a shining light, and it is on both of them, on both of the hands. And the insignia is in gold, and then there's some kind of gold filigree that kind of comes back and covers the rest of the gloves. As you look at one of the fingers of the glove, you do find a ring which has some waves kind of up the sides of the ring, and rather than it just being a band of a gold band, it's basically just waves all the way around.
Fancy.
Oh wow.
Hey, do you think that there's more crabs or monsters in there? Waiting to snack on them?
Did you get them both, Ali?
As you look through, there are certainly parts of the pond that are kind of hidden, and there's like crevices, and it kind of even goes down farther into what looks to be almost like an underground cave system. And but this is, you don't see any moving creatures. It looks like the Hydra was kind of the king of the court here.
On land, is there any like caves or like where he would hoard? I don't know what the intelligence level of the crab is, but if he kept things.
The hoard of the crabs seem to be the pile of corpses that you guys. Yep. You can certainly investigate that if you wish.
Sure. How about an 11?
Yeah, it seems that the sun-bleached bones have kind of given up everything that there was already to be given.
Gotcha.
I'll move over to Ollie and say, well, let me do what I do.
You got it. Are we moving back to shore,
Yeah,
Morthos?
I would assume so.
Onward, steed!
And I will ritualize some identifies on these things over the next few minutes.
Okay. Ollie, as you kind of jump off of Morthos' shoulders and kind of land back in the mud, your foot hits something solid in the mud, and you kind of turn it over, and you find another potion of healing that is there.
He reaches down. And another one.
Yeah.
Zelda style.
Broke a pot.
Love it.
We got one. Should I hold on to it, or...
You probably need it.
I mean, I'm not going to take it now.
I did not even receive a scratch in this fight, so mayhaps you should keep it.
I only received one. It was just really big. As you can tell.
Same.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Alright, I'll hold on to it. I'll give you these so you can identify them.
Right.
So you take the time to go through your rituals as you sit down, and you identify the bolts and the ring and the gloves, and you can kind of express to the party what you find.
Well, I see. These gloves here certainly would be useful for a healer. I see some. I certainly see some use for this for adding your magic abilities to healing. Who does healing in this party? Not very many of us.
I mean, I do.
Oh yes, you have done so.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think the
Killian has too.
As well as June, no? I've seen you heal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still learning, but it is something I've undertaken.
Well, I say these are some gloves of healing, and they will add some healing to your spells. You can also utilize a healer's kit to gain healing.
Who wants them? I mean,
I think you should take them. You've done the bulk of.
all right. I'll slip on the water gloves off the dead skeleton.
They do match your fur color wonderfully.
They
It's
do.
true. Like, it kind of blends pretty well.
It does.
And although this ring looks sort of like a book and a wand and a scroll,
That's a large ring.
it certainly would help someone who would like to go for a swim once in a while.
In what way?
Well, it lets you swim.
So rather
Real well.
Good swimmer.
rather than moving at half speed, you gain a swim speed of 40 feet with that ring on. So it's a ring of swimming.
It's pretty good.
I'm a really
in
good
D&D
swimmer,
Beyond?
so I don't need it.
Well, I can breathe underwater, but I don't prefer to go in the water, so here you go. Someone can
I don't know if I can swim.
utilize this. We don't want to find out.
At least not here. Not in the boiling water, of
I
course.
just have no memory of ever learning.
I mean, you don't remember much.
We should start in a bathtub. Just throw you in. See if you can swim there.
Or the water here.
I could just try it here.
So
What say you?
That might hurt.
You'd learn quickly,
after
though.
I pass off the equipment, I'll walk over to the what we assume is the captain. Try to find anything that might confirm that he's a captain, or things around in the pile that may.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
13.
So,
As you
You rolled 2?
plus 8.
Yeah.
as you look at the garb of this sailor, well, it's difficult to say because of the destruction from the crab. It doesn't seem to be of particular high quality. So you get the sense that a captain would likely be, you would assume, wearing some more fancy garb than kind of the typical common sailor's
hat.
clothes.
Is
And
it,
you definitely don't see a hat anywhere.
What do you think, JB? Could it be the captain we are looking for?
Well, I was expecting to recall some kind of insignia from the boat or something. However, I see none of that. Plus, this person seems like they are more like a pirate as opposed to, say, a captain. But I have no verification of that.
And he doesn't have a hat. That's all he said.
Yeah, it's not a requirement, but okay. I've read books where they have those special hats. Yes.
I've never seen a pirate, but in the books that they had in the monastery, they were always wearing hats.
It's a gross assumption that all captains would prefer hats. I cannot believe that you would put that upon every captain in the world.
No, I mean, it's...
Only ship captains.
I'm only playing with you. I'd like to say that fight was close, and I appreciate everyone's effort. It really lifted my spirits when it comes to how we will prevail in the future, by the way.
I thought it was easy.
I had never seen a Hydra before. Oh, for me it was, but I was referring to the rest of you.
It was barely an inconvenience.
Yes, except 2 of our members fell.
And Juno almost died.
And
Not
rose
make it
again.
an inconvenience.
Yeah, that,
But you have 8 more lives.
I was trying to compliment everyone.
I noticed that and I very much appreciate your encouragement to the group.
June, sorry.
Go ahead.
June awkwardly raises her hand and she goes, "Thanks.
You're what?
I saw that done in the tavern.
Should I
Isn't
take
that
what-
how you?"
take it?
No, it was gentle. It was gentle.
Stunning strike.
You don't know me.
does a 9 hit.
Pretty much.
Is this not how teammates confer congratulations?
No,
Stunning
this
strike.
is how teammates confirm. And she grabs June's head and goes to headbutt.
Oh, no.
What do I roll? What
Okay.
is she rolling? What are you
I'm
doing?
not attacking you. I'm just headbutting you like the cats did.
Mhm.
Am I concussed now?
Hugging a head
I'd rather have
But you're just head.
That's what the cats do. Right, Ollie?
I'd rather have a sword slice me than your head hit me.
That's how you're supposed to greet teammates and other people.
It's true, just a little bit more gentle.
I always stink at that part.
Yeah, like it's a hug and a head nuzzle. We call it a headbutt because it's funny because we know we wouldn't headbutt each other. and I'm understanding now that was a little too literal. So we're gonna call it a
Very much so.
hug and a head nuzzle.
Oliver, why are there
Okay.
2 of you? Where did the second go?
Wait, there's two?
Is there any other, what would be people of interest in the pile of bones?
Good guess. Or question.
Given your investigation
I'm
check,
investigating something different.
previously rolled,
I want to find someone else.
most of these bones are stripped of any sort of identifying marks.
Okay.
I mean, there's the random bit of clothing here and there. There's...
Good.
Mine's good. It goes down smooth.
That's because you're a man.
I still think it's iced tea.
Also that.
Yep.
You're saying mine's not?
Iced
Saying
tea.
yours is a different
Raspberry fresh.
Aged 2 weeks.
But no, nothing really of significance. This individual certainly is the freshest kill.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Cool.
And
Ray is gonna start taking a shovel and digging a hole.
Okay.
Carry a shovel.
you have a shovel?
I have my backpack always with me, so I just assume I have a shovel. I have a picture to prove it.
I like it. Let's
got
go
that
with
Bear
that.
Grylls
Just use your
Yeah.
tool that's like 40 things in one.
I like it.
It's a giant pot, like the Swiss Army knives, only giant size.
I
So.
like it.
She has a shovel.
I can get rid of it this
You
episode.
could use one
I
of
take
the
a
arms to do
log.
it.
How about that? I'm just using a log.
Well,
and I whittled it
you
down
kind of
to a shovel.
turn your hammer over and you kind of
There we go.
use
Scrape.
the hammer to scrape away the mud
Yep.
and to create a ditch that
I like
begins
about-
begins filling in with water once you get about a foot below the ground level.
That's okay. I'll start taking the bones and burying them.
And after she
S-
gets a foot
saying,
below
I think I'm allergic to
the
crab now.
surface level, I'll just snap my fingers and remove a 5-foot cube of.
Oh, that was easier.
I didn't know you had a shovel, but I
Well,
figured
now
I
I'm
could
using
help.
my hammer. I'll start moving the bones over, and I'm singing a little prayer that I learned in Sunday school.
And how's
to,
that? How's it go?
How does it go?
Yep.
Your light shined well, but now it's gone. May Anam keep you and bless you. Your light has gone, but that's okay. Anam will keep you and bless you.
Today.
Today.
This is so. We
And
need a
that's
book.
why
Of, we need a book of these.
You should play a bard next time. You
What?
should play a bard next time. Seriously.
We knew that.
I need to prepare my songs in advance. I know I'm going to be asked them on the spot.
I don't think you have to. That was great.
Thank you.
Rubia starts crying.
I learned it in Sunday school.
What
It has
time
to be
of
upbeat.
day is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Currently?
It's around
3:15 now.
3:30 now.
It is still. There's still a lot of light left. I don't know if we do not believe this is the captain. Should we be heading on our way to the third location?
I would say it's probably best to fortify ourselves in amongst these ruins
This
and
place is so cozy.
allow our
Ollie's really hurt, in other words. And so is June.
I am
friends
still
to rest, and
bleeding.
we can set out first
A lot.
thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning?
Yeah.
All right.
But in the meantime, we can build a campfire, and maybe you can change it like to a cool color, like pink, like you did when we beat up the skeletons, and then we can tell stories around the campfire. Ollie, will you tell us a story?
If I can remember some.
Okay.
A lot of blood loss.
Who wants to go fishing?
I don't think you'll find any fish in the boiling water.
Can you just teach me how to fish first?
Fortunately, we do have bait.
Well, Ollie one time told this great story about the noodling where you stick your arm down and then it bites in. He said I'd be really good in it, so maybe we could try fishing like that another
no,
time.
Probably not in the geyser there.
No,
but
not in the geyser.
You know, somewhere
that would
else.
hurt. Also, the fish would be floating upside down.
True.
About that time, the geyser goes off again.
Ah, that old faithful geyser.
Now, I do not remember how far away our next stop is. Do you recall?
Did we get a map?
You were shown a rough map. You were given a rough map. So you traveled
I
you traveled
remember.
several days to here. So from Sanguine Cathedral, it was kind of like about equidistant. You went to the Geyser Inn, and now you kind of gonna go across land to Fort Kevlan. So it'll be another several days before you get there.
I really don't think we should lose a half a day.
I'm
Can
with
we rest for a little while and then head out?
as long as we can find a good place to camp tonight, I would be okay with that.
I'm sure we will be provided a nice clearing by a nom.
That's right.
Or the cat lord.
Well, maybe the cat lord, but I think he has abandoned us.
No, I don't think so. Did you see what I did when I woke up?
You opened your eyes.
True. Yep. And then what happened?
I don't remember. I was
Did
too
you
busy
hear the
smashing.
thunder? I summoned my Thundercats.
Oh, that's right. That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. One of those things. By the way,
Whoa.
it was the same. It looked exactly like that traveling watch merchant's cat. Little Bob cat.
That's weird.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Pixie Bob.
Yeah, probably shouldn't think about that anymore. Moving on.
Okay.
So you guys take some time to rest here. Are you taking a short rest to roll hit dice?
I would appreciate that.
I think we could probably spend a couple hours here.
Okay.
So short.
Me too.
But then it's dark.
Yeah, multiple short rests.
So you
I
want,
got spells to get back. I need to focus.
Yeah, I would do my song.
so you're gonna do your song of rest.
Story arrest. Yep.
Story of rest. What story do you regale them with?
I'm gonna tell a story of a lovely lady who
This
Ray's
had,
at the edge of her seat.
yeah, she had 4 lovely daughters, and she married a lovely man who had 4 lovely sons. I met them on an island just north of here, and they were called the Grady's. They're wonderful.
The Gravies?
The Gravies, yes. They were called the Gravies. They
Was
were
it a Grady bunch?
Yeah, it was a Grady bunch.
Yeah.
They were just a bunch of kids. They were wonderful. They had the most amazing housekeeper.
What?
Yeah, name Ethel. She was tuned for. Actually, she was the one I traded with all the time for fish and things. She had a massive face tattoo.
What?
She was
What was it of?
a fish. In like where the eye of the fish was her eye.
I'd like to,
No way.
I'd like to insight this story.
Go for it.
18.
It's true. maybe some choice embellishments, but
All right.
the Grady bunch definitely exists.
It wasn't a fish tattoo. You got me.
Oh man.
It was a bird.
No, that's
Yeah.
even better.
It was better.
What kind of bird?
Would you?
A seagull. I forget what you call them.
I thought I heard it was like a red herring.
Could have been.
Yeah, red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But yeah, it's a good little trading island. Good coconuts for fish. That's what we'd do.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
That's his story of rest.
All right,
She's been
so
asleep for
you
like 10
guys
minutes.
get your get your first.
I do hope we find the
So
Grady bunch.
Ray's gonna work on her songs, and Oliver's gonna work on his stories.
Yeah.
Quest number 1.
But
I'm just gonna
we
go
are
through
gonna
all the
fi-
different sitcoms.
We are gonna find that island.
I can't wait.
I can't wait too. Ethel, how are you? Telling you, it's the best.
So your first
coconut.
dice is maximized
Correct.
because of this story of rest, and if you're rolling any other hit dice, go ahead and mark them off. Are you you're just taking an hour?
Yeah.
As the sun continues on towards setting, it's not quite dark yet. It's around 4:30 or so in the afternoon. You get maybe another 2 or 3 hours of light, and before you would be moving in the darkness. So you set off on the road, and the road turns to forest. And as you get to the point of feeling near exhaustion, you crest a hill, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, there is a perfect crag and a rock, which will allow a wonderfully defensible position.
Told you Anam would bless us.
That's a cat lord's blessing right there.
Out
And
of
that
the
could be-
wind, and the biting cold as the ash continues to fall, and the temperature seems to continue to drop, and you have a clearing, a respite for the evening. Are there any conversations any of you wish to have with each other, either one-on-one or as a group?
Juna's gonna go over and sit down next to Ollie, feeling some kinship that they both almost died.
Oh, what's up, June?
How are you feeling?
A little better now that we rested. A little troubled too, but you know.
It is quite a blow to the pride.
Yeah,
To be
almost died. Yeah.
Killed by a crab.
It was a big crab though.
It would have made so many crab cakes. Have you ever had those?
Yes,
They're great.
they are. I don't like too much filling in them though.
That's true.
Do you pan fry them or bake them?
Well, it depends on if you're on a diet.
Oh, that's a good point.
We were always dieting.
That's a 4-letter word that I don't like. Diet. Or die. Probably because that's the root word of diet.
Yeah. That does make sense now that you draw the connection.
Yeah.
But why are you troubled?
Well,
Aside from almost
almost
dying
dying.
to a crab.
Well, believe it or not, it kind of mixes in with that. It was weird. I got knocked unconscious, but I wasn't unconscious. I saw things in like my mind's eye, and I felt very intense feelings and emotions that seemed to last forever, and for a minute only at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was a vision, and I don't know if it's a vision of the past or of things to come.
What did you see?
I saw a sheep. I saw a sheep full of my people, full of Tabashi, and they were in chains, and they were being beaten and whipped and yelled at, and I felt anger, but not necessarily at the person or the people that were doing it. This overriding feeling of betrayal, and I was seeing it through like someone's eyes. Like I wasn't third person, it was first person, and I'm watching this cub get the crap kicked out of him, and then I'm watching the mother cry because there's nothing she can do, and I just, in my mind, was running through, how could he do this? How could he do this? But I have no idea who he is. And then I looked up, and I got backhanded, and I felt it. Like I felt it on my cheek. And the person who backhanded me was... June, it was a snake person. It was like you. It was a UNT. Then I looked, and they were all over the sheep. They were the ones in charge. They were the ones torturing and yelling and belittling my people.
Well, we both fell into spores, which,
Yeah.
in my experience, may be known to cause visions. But I am confused because I experienced the same thing.
Wait, what?
I mean, I wasn't a tabaxi. That would have been
That
odd.
would have been odd, yeah.
Can you imagine that? Would have been weird having a tail. But I saw the same thing.
What-
I saw a cub getting struck. And I saw crying, and I heard screaming, and there was a ship. But that's so odd. You were watching it happen as if you were there, right?
I felt everything. Like, I felt the mist of the water, I felt the rocking of the sheep, I felt the hit across my cheek, and I felt just that betrayal and anger feeling inside. Like, I was there, but it wasn't me.
I experienced the same thing, but I was one of the UNT watching. But I was watching it from across the ship, and I was leaning up against the railing, and I was watching this happen, and I felt pity. But I didn't do anything about it, but I felt it. I know I felt it. And I've never felt anything like that before.
What?
I thought it was blood loss, really. I mean, when we woke up, we were, like, almost dead.
Oh, yeah.
I've been told that there are visions of light and other things that one sees towards the end of their life, and I thought maybe this might just be something, but I've never ever heard of a shared death vision like that before.
That's weird. What does it mean? Is this the future? Are you gonna take my people?
I don't even know who my people are. You said you saw UNT, but I've never even seen anyone but me. And she's gonna take and like unroll the wraps that have been absolutely shredded by this crab, and the last like tatters of it are just gonna fall off, and she's gonna look at the scales that are like going up and down her arm. And
Are you keeping this conversation private?
Are we trying? I was just quiet, but not like whispering.
I don't think we're whispering, but I would say
I heard
we're
every word you said.
Okay, so you guys are all they're having this conversation between themselves, but you're all kind of listening in, and Ray, you're doing your best to not interrupt because you know it's a serious moment.
I'm whittling, but I'm like looking and go.
You look over and
keep
Rubius
whittling.
has his binoculars trained on you.
The wrong way.
And you all kind of watch as June lets her wraps fall to the side, and some of you for the first time see the scales which gather near her forearm into her wrist and to the top of her hand. And as she kind of pulls back her sleeve, you see more scales that kind of go up into her shoulder. Very lightly green, and unless you were looking for it, would be very easy to miss. But there's definitely a serpentine quality to this part of her skin.
Do you see these?
Yes.
I always hid them. I thought they were the mark of a monster, but UNT have always been told to me to be cold and pitiless, but that observer in that vision, she felt pity. She felt it, because I felt it. And even if she stood by and allowed great evil to happen, at least I know it wasn't savored. What does that mean?
I don't know. If it's a vision of the past, it's one I am unfamiliar with. No one has ever said anything about this. And if it's a vision of the future, I've got to tell someone. I don't know who, but I got to tell someone. I need to find my coin. I need to talk to the cat lord. I don't know.
What will your coin do? You've mentioned a coin so many times, and I thought it might be something like a keepsake to your people, but is it more than that?
Yeah, it's magical. It's been given to my people by the cat lord, but it's been hidden, and only a select few can even find it. And I went through cub school. I was born with a gift of curiosity that not everyone has. My whole purpose for being is to find this coin. That's it. That is it.
What does it do? You said it's magical.
The coin allows us to... My people tell stories, as you've guessed.
I never would have known.
Yeah, I hide it
This
very
is
well.
news to me.
We tell stories of our past, and we tell stories of who we are. But we don't have all of the cold hard facts. We get the bullet points, the high points. The coin is magical and will allow me to physically write the story of our people on my crest. And he pulls out his white ivory sword. And do you see how only the first half of this is inscribed with little hieroglyphics?
Yes.
That's as far as the story goes. We were a proud people on our island. That's the first one. We elected a king. That king dealt poorly and sold us into slavery. We toiled in slavery. We got out and fought for our freedom and settled Catalyst. And that's where it ends.
You were sold, your people were sold into slavery?
Yeah, by one of our own, I guess. That's what we've been told. I don't know who. I don't even know if that's true.
Well, both our visions showed what looked like selling of your people. I mean, did you see it? I don't know if you saw it, but I saw Tabaxi being whipped. I saw them being shoved into cages on wagons, loaded up to get taken off the ship.
No, I was still below deck in my vision. I didn't see any of that.
Well, then maybe that's where ours branched off. Mine, I've never felt sick like that in my stomach. Maybe it was the ship moving, but in my vision, I went up on the top of the deck just to get fresh air, but I just saw more cruelty up there as well.
All right. Oh. If that's a vision of the past, that's a story that needs to be written. That is context that we don't even know.
And if it's true, if that's true, and if what I felt during that vision was true, whether it was just a projection of myself or a Yuan-Ti who lived in that time, whenever it might be, but no matter what, that just means that everything they've ever said about Yuan-Ti cannot be true.
What, that you guys are just inherently evil?
She winces. In so many words.
I could say more. Really inherently evil. Do you want more words?
I think I know the picture.
Okay, yeah.
But you know, all this time I thought I left the monastery in search of truth, but I'm just starting to think I've been running from it.
And I think I just learned that the truth we have is only a half-truth, and it needs to be filled out. I need to find that coin. My people's lives depend on it. I think our relationship does too.
June reaches out and awkwardly, trying it for the first time, but just holds his wrist and goes, I will help you find your coin.
And as you utter those words, your necklace begins to glow.
I feel like this would have been useful at an earlier junction.
June. I'm right beside you. You didn't even know it.
He just sneaks up behind her shoulder.
Yeah.
Mustache.
Yes,
I've been standing here for about 5 minutes now. Might I ask you one thing?
Sure.
Why did you hide your wrists, your arms?
Well, I didn't always, but see, when I was growing up, I didn't even really know that it was something bad. But we would go on little visits to the nearest village, and we would pick up supplies for the monastery there. And the first time that I went, I didn't cover them up, and I didn't know it was anything to be covered up. And I came back to the monastery that night with a bruise on my face because someone had thrown a rock. Because they'd seen the scales. And they thought it was a curse, or I don't even know if they knew I was a Yuan-Ti, but something about me must have seemed very evil.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a child, so I didn't know. And ever since then, it just seemed easier.
Well, in the month and a half's worth of memories I have of being alive, I've learned one thing.
Just one?
One thing. And that is, do not define yourself by things like that. Scales are just scales. What makes you a monster are the things you choose to do. Also, what's a crab?
It's something that's delicious with butter.
Pan-fried.
I've never
Pan-fried.
seen one. They sound so delicious.
Well, there is a body. Not
It's-
too far away.
It's what snapped us in half.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that your story impacted me.
I didn't even know
'Cause
you were
I
listening
think-
to it.
That I am defining myself too much by my past, and I need to focus on moving forward and what I can create my life to be.
Carpe diem.
Carp is also very good.
It is, yes.
What does that mean?
I think it's, Killian. You're old. And I mean that in a loving way. You're like my great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather.
Oh, well, I'm glad you think I'm great.
Yes, you are. What does carpe diem mean? I feel like you know some of those old dead languages.
I think it has something to do with grasping the moment that you're in,
That is
Oh,
true.
like
That is
seizing.
true.
like seizing the day.
Oh, that's good.
My master did always say a carp in the hand is worth 2 crabs in the bush.
That
Or
doesn't-
something like that.
That doesn't
I
make
might be
any sense.
misremembering it.
I
Oh.
think so.
How about we all do this? How about we all just focus on moving forward and seizing the carp? Huzzah!
Seize the carp. I like it. JB, what do you think? Seize the carp?
They
He
are
looks
slippery.
up from studying his wizard. Huh? Excuse me?
Seize the carp.
The carp?
Seize the carp.
Seize the carp.
Sounds like an episode title.
Whatever gets you through the night.
All right. And with that,
Seize the carp and sample the salmon.
amen. I'm
That
gonna
is a slogan I would live my life by. That might be the truth I've been looking for all this time.
maybe I'm gonna go say my prayers, sharpen my sword, and go to bed because I'm still kind of hurting. So, June, good talk.
Indeed, Ollie. I'm gonna go meditate on this and see if maybe it was all just a production of concussion. Thanks to Ray's enthusiasm.
You do that.
I think your scales are beautiful. She whispers by as June walks past, just in that hushed tone.
June doesn't really react in front of her, but the moment she passes, you just see her smile a little bit.
So as you each make your way to sleep, who is gonna keep watch?
Killian, would you take first watch with me?
Yeah, of course. I'm feeling quite spry this evening.
As am I.
I also need to make some good berries for our travels tomorrow.
Yes.
So it
And
works
boy, to
out.
have good berries in that last fight. So, Killian and I will kind of walk to the edge of where we are. He'll intentionally make sure that we're out of earshot of anyone else in the cave that we're kind of holed up in. Killian,
What's on your mind, Morthos?
well, I don't know if you have noticed. I've tried to hide it as best I can, but these last couple battles have nearly killed me. And there were been a couple where I was one hit away from utter death myself. And while I am not necessarily scared of dying, I don't want to die at the moment either. However, it kind of puts some things in perspective. I believe that my sole task is to protect this lot. And he kind of looks behind him at everyone getting ready to go to bed. We have been told that this is the group that will save the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it is currently my task to make sure that they live long enough to do it. And if that means my own death is necessary, then so be it. I will gladly give it. However, there are 3 things that I possess that someone else must know in case that they may come. First, as you know, you've seen my echo. My echo is not just a parlor trick per se. She is a person. She is a spirit. I actually don't really fully understand what she is, but she was a friend of mine from a time not too long ago, and she gave her life to protect mine. And in that moment, her, I don't know how to else call it, but her spirit. And as I'm saying this, I kind of bring my echo out, but not enough that she's fully formed, but just that you're almost giving you double vision, and then kind of bring her back in. And she chose me, and I fully believe that if something happens to me, she will choose the next vessel to carry her to the end. For I feel that she is part of this key to defeat whatever is out there. But along with that, and he opens up his jacket, and he shows you that there's a hidden pocket inside of his jacket.
Well, that's quite nifty.
That, unless you knew it was there, you would never see the seams. And he reaches in, and he pulls out what will be known as the scarab key. And he shows it to you, and hands it to you, and says, you know that we have been trying to, whatever you want to call it, investigate, track, find, stop this Nimbus Collective. Well, I know for a fact that they are desperate to get this piece. This is one half of a key that opens up, I believe it was described as a cave that possessed incredible wonders of power. This, whatever it is, people are willing to kill and have died to protect this. And it was given to another dear friend of mine who died trying to protect this item. And no matter what, this item cannot fall into the Nimbus Collective's hands. I believe as long as we hold items like this, we will maybe not stop them, but we will at least slow them down and prevent them from achieving their goals that much quicker. So if something should happen, please make sure that you take this and make sure that it is never found by them. And also, the other half of this, I was told when we received this, that in the Anorak Desert, there's a desert above a dried out sea of shadows, around which a scimitar spire rises in the south central sands. And while I am unsure if it is the other half of this key, or if it was related to this key itself, I believe at some point it is something that we must look into.
Would I know what he's talking about?
You recognize the name Sea of Shadows and Scimitar Spire as being locations deep in the Anorak Desert that were related to the Netherese Empire.
Okay.
And lastly, while I don't quite understand its full potential, and he pulls out the hopper. This, I've shown you this before, this is the device that allows us to control these necklaces. And I fear if this would ever get into the hands of the wrong people, it would be very bad for a lot of people. And I believe that this is something else that can never fall into the Nimbus Collective's hands.
Well, I appreciate your honesty and trust with me. Let me first say that you have put a great responsibility on your shoulders of protecting us all. And I do appreciate that, but I'm not sure that is your only role here. I do think you are special and have incredible talents, and that is why you have been chosen to collect us, if you will. But now that you're here, you are not just the shield, but also a chain in the link of this group, and to lose you would be a great loss, regardless of even your echo or the things that you carry. I have grown to really appreciate your company and your leadership, and I know that the others feel the same. I have noticed your echo, and she, now that I know a little bit more about her, she is a very bright, both literally, I don't know if,
I have to see if I can work on that.
But it seems like she was a kind soul, a bright soul, and maybe there is a way for us to know why she chose you, and why she is seems destined to be a part of our journey to the end. And I do swear to the best that I can help you in that process. That scarab key is quite interesting.
I must be truthful. As I said, I can guarantee you that people are trying to track this as we speak, and it will, at some point, bring incredible danger to our doorstep, or our path. I guess we're not already in the building, but you know what I mean. They will come looking for this, and someday they just might find us with it.
Is there any? Do I recognize it? Is there any lore about this key that I would
Roll a history check.
Ooh, good roll.
19.
Bad modifier.
Yeah.
You know that if it is related to the Anarok Desert, there are all kinds of stories of items that the Netherese Empire developed and had. They were a mageocracy. They were evil. But they had floating cities of power, and they certainly could have had a vault or a hidden place that something like this could open, but that key specifically, no idea.
Do you think that this is something that we should tell the others? Do you think they are ready to understand the weight of what some of this means?
Well, I think it may be surprising to you what they can handle. I think also it may help them use their gifts more efficiently, as well as effectively in combat and in our adventuring. If they started to understand not only what you have lost on a personal level, but what the world is, what is at stake in the world, if you will. And I think, especially when it comes to the key, I think you are right. Holding it away from the enemy is important, but maybe if we understood why they are searching for this cave, it may be of use to us, so I think our friend JB is very good at understanding magic and the things of that. So including him on this would be, I would deem it wise for that.
My concern is, while I am slowly trusting everyone that is here, not everyone do we know who they truly are. And should the wrong people find out about this, it will inevitably bring death and destruction to us.
Well, let me ask you, do you trust this Miss Vadris, who has brought us together?
I do. With my life, that is why I'm here.
And did your Echo trust her? And do you think that your Echo would mislead you in this process?
No, but only because she sucked at insight game.
True.
She was learning.
Well,
She thought that I was wonderful.
well, I think you're wonderful as well. But I do think that we have been brought together as a group, and I understand your caution, but I think the inclusion and trust that, trust is only, isn't necessarily given, but it's earned, but also it needs to start out on the right track, and we can give a little bit of trust, even though, and I think they have earned it, but I think that it will go a long way for them to see you open up a little bit. I know that is hard for you in all of your loss and in your pain, and I think that is maybe why you're so not eager, but willing to depart from us if need be. But I think you'd find that all of us are in that same position now, that if it came down to the betterment of the group or the betterment of the world, we would give up ourselves. for that.
Well, I think you're right. I think I would ask you to just keep this between us for now.
I would
Specifically, I am unsure of June. She's the only one that was not chosen to be in our group, and yet she is here.
and
that
no
could have
word
been-
from Vadris about that.
Not as of yet. She has not said anything to me. And while I'm not saying that she is here of any malice intent, she is also the only one that was not chosen.
I would agree. That is smart, and I would never betray your trust. And again, I appreciate you confiding in me. I do want to leave you with this word as maybe we're going to part and go to sleep. Is there anything else you may want to divulge? Your deep feelings and sadness, and maybe a little bit of happiness I see in there as well, as I give him a wink.
You have been a good friend so far, Gillian.
Oh well, I'm here for you at all times.
Did you just say his name wrong so you didn't know you were getting too chummy?
Well, Morty, I think that I'm not sure that anyone. I heard this from my good friend Rogers. He said, I don't think that anyone can grow unless he is loved exactly how he is now. And I want you to know that I love you exactly how you are now. And I'm appreciating you for what you are now rather than what you will be, which I think is still great. And I think you have a lot of potential, but you are loved and welcomed here. So
all right.
So
Before I have to
don't
kick
go-
your ass and then put the mushy
And I'm
shit.
reaching in to hug his waist.
All right.
All right, very good. And as Killian, you give him a hug and kind of lean back, your necklace glows as well,
What color
That's
does it?
all of them.
which means that everyone has matching
Which means the next battle is going to be
golden necklaces. And so you take your rest and you go through your watch, uneventful for each of the hours of the night as you are nestled in your nice little nook in the mountain. Ray, as you drift into sleep, you find your consciousness wrestled awake, but you're not awake, you're asleep. And you're standing at the foot of a mountain. You turn and you hear the lap of waves against the ocean. And this is very much like your home, though you look at the skyline of the mountain and you know that this isn't your home. And you turn and it's not actually an ocean, just perhaps a large lake. And as you look up the mountain, it is evening, there are stars in the sky. And as you look, you watch as there's a flash of lightning. Another. Larger, louder. And the wind begins to pick up on the water. The waves begin to rise. And you feel a sense of, well, this is unique. Usually storms exhilarate you. I mean, after all, it's where your people thrive. But there's something ominous about this storm. As the thunder increases, the lightning expands throughout the sky, and it turns from the typical white flash to greenish, purplish, blue, different hues that now seem to match the same hues as the storm in the Anarok Desert. And as the colors change, your foreboding feeling changes as well, and you begin to feel uncomfortable where you stand. What do you do?
So where is this? Is it the storm above the mountain?
It
Or-
kind of started above the mountain, and now it's kind of spread all around.
She's gonna start climbing the mountain quickly,
Okay.
as high as she can get. Like she would be running towards her dad, where she always found comfort.
Roll an athletics check.
It's loading. Hold on, give me a second.
As you go bounding up the mountain, step by step,
20.
there are large boulders which you easily sidestep. You jump and leap across a large
sorry.
gap.
It was over 20. I rolled a 15 plus 11. I did acrobatics.
And you latch on to the side and you climb with ease higher and higher. As you get higher, the temperature grows colder and colder, but the lightning continues to flash. Sleet begins to pelt you, or is it hail? It's hard to tell. It feels like it's almost grasping at you, trying to hold you back.
She's gonna continue climbing, holding on, saying, "I'm coming, Dad, I'm coming!" And as she starts, she's gonna start singing another Sunday school song that she learned. Don't ask me, because I don't know.
What was it?
Sing it. Now I have to make one up. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of lightning and storms, I will fear no evil. Dad, I'm coming! Dad, I'm coming!
And you kind of try to comfort yourself with this song as
Are you happy, Jake? Okay.
the crashing grows louder. You reach the pinnacle of the mountain after what seems like an eternity of climbing. And the wind is strong enough to almost knock you off your feet as you grip the apex. And you look up, and there in the clouds, in the storm, amidst the flashing, you see what looks to be a figure.
She's gonna grip her hammer and kind of stand up against the wind and say, "I am brave! I am strong! I have my ancestors behind me!" Getting ready to fight, kind of doing a battle cry for herself. Oi, Melinda!
Yes.
Love it. So good.
As you yell out your battle cry, the silhouetted figure begins to turn its cloak and hood kind of trailing down and almost becoming one with the storm. As the face turns to you, it looks like your mother.
I'm immediately starting to swing, and then I jerk my hammer back. And Mom?
As you look more closely, as the detail kind of flashes with the light and then fades, you see, no, it's not your mother, but it's someone who looks very, very similar to your mother. And
Who are you?
And she looks at you, and her eyes kind of go wide, and she says, "Find my son. Save us," as her face dashes into the storm, and she gets completely absorbed into the swirling wind and the flashing lightning, and you wake up with a sweat-covered body, and you kind of sit up straight.
Wait! What? She's gonna look around. Are there any mountains nearby?
You're kind of in a bit of a hill, but no mountains per se. You're in more of a forested area.
She's gonna go on top of the hill.
You go on top of the
Yeah.
hill. Yep.
She's gonna look desperately. Are there any storms around besides the obvious
Rubius,
one?
you kind of hear this because you were up keeping watch at this moment, and you kind of look behind you and you watch as Ray begins to kind of call up to the sky and.
Who are you? Who do I need to find?
Rubius Thornbury.
Yes, Rubius? I just had the most terrible dream ever. There was a storm and I got scared, but then I sang a Sunday school song that I learned, and then I was actually still kind of scared. But then when I got to the top of the mountain, I was like, I can do this. My father taught me better. And I braced myself, then I yelled away Melinda, and then this face appeared, and it looks like my mother, but it wasn't my mother. And then they said, come find us, but I didn't know who they were, and then it disappeared, and then I woke up.
Ray, we need to have a talk about drugs.
Rubius, you're
It's
not
about
taking this
time.
seriously! And she kind of slams down her hammer.
And you see that she is fiery. This is
All right. Listen, talk to me. What happened? You saw a face in the clouds?
I just told you what happened.
Who
and I
was
go
the
on
boy?
Again. It wasn't a boy. It looks like my mother. She
Who
just
was to find my son?
I don't know. I've never seen them before in my life. I mean, there are a lot of storm giants, but we don't really see each other. I mostly just stayed with my parents. One time in the council, and I just tried to think really hard, using the power of thought that Ollie taught me.
Listen,
I'm gonna try to remember
Ray.
if the face looked familiar from the council meetings that I saw once or twice as a child.
okay. Go
That's a
ahead.
good roll.
Roll a history check.
Well, we'll find out.
7.
Ray, I'm taking this
She
seriously.
went to second service.
I'm taking this seriously.
You got. There's something familiar,
Was
but
she purple?
She was purple.
She was purple. She looked like my mom. Well, that makes sense because my mom was purple. I feel like I should know her, but I
She
just
wasn't
can't
your mom?
think about it. No, she just looked like my mom.
Was it your mom's sister?
She looked really. My mom didn't have a sister. She's an only child. Storm giants only have one child. I'm my parents' one, and my mom was her parents' one, and my dad was their parents' one. Everyone only had one child. That's the rule of the storm
Listen,
giants.
how can we help you?
Communist China.
That's not enough to sustain civilization.
I don't know. I don't know, Rubius. How can you help me?
Maybe you should get some sleep.
She's actually gonna try to use the power of thought again and focus on the butterfly inside of her heart.
Also good.
Rubius is just saying, focus on the butterfly. Focus on the butterfly.
I'm focusing!
Butterfly, we summon thee.
Shut up!
Roll with advantage.
This is all happening on top of the hill at like 4 a.m.
As our camp is wide open to attack.
Yes.
We summon thee.
Oh my goodness.
June is now awake.
What am I rolling?
You are rolling a
Disaster.
this would be a
Athletics.
religion check.
I really think we got a lot closer just now, Ray.
Dang it! 7! Rubius, you're not helping me concentrate!
What is going on? Are we under attack? She stands up. Who's there?
You turn and you see Rubius trying to summon a butterfly from out of Ray.
June goes.
Be the butterfly.
June goes. He's possessed, and just immediately palm strikes the center of his chest.
Oh jeez.
Not with any serious force, just to push him over.
I don't know, that sounds like a serious...
No, she still just woke up.
Okay.
She's still half asleep.
you tumble down and immediately land in a 3-point stance on your feet, and you're ready to go. Then you realize it was just June, and you're good.
What's wrong with you?
Come out of your cocoon.
Shh! So, what happened was... And I go through the long spiel with June again.
Yep.
So he's
But
not.
the face looks just so familiar, and I can't picture it of the council, and I tried to summon the butterfly, but then Rubius was doing his stupid mirror jumping, and I just and she strikes the ground as hard as she can.
as a
Screaming and
small
frustration.
crater erupts.
I don't know who I'm supposed to find!
Ray, hold on. Do you remember what this person looked like?
She looks like my mom, but she wasn't my mom. And she said I have to find her son, but I don't know who the son is.
Well, why don't you just describe as best as you can, and I'll try and draw her.
Well, she's beautiful. My mom is so beautiful. She has eyes that are emerald, and her skin is, of course, purple because she's, chosen by a nom, which is pretty amazing. And her hair is immaculate, and it's purple like mine. And her face, and she kind of goes on, and you could see that she has like an awe describing her mother, just in awe of how amazing of a person that she is. She might be exaggerating a little bit of her beauty, but you could tell that her mom is in the highest regard. Yeah, as she's describing how, and she has this amazing insight and wisdom, and she has the gift of profiting. She can tell into the future. Oh, and she gets really sad. I miss my mom.
Is
And my
this what she
dad.
looked like?
Is that the legit picture? Maybe you shouldn't draw me.
June's hand is still broken.
That was left-handed. I'm right-handed.
Ray just kind of stops. No.
She looks just like you, Ray. Just like you. The same image.
It's like
Literally
looking
the same.
Granted, it's dark, but I can still see perfectly.
So you make your way frustrated back to your bedroll, and eventually sleep takes you again, and you all
I say a little prayer before I fall asleep.
wake in the morning.
Not a song.
You continue on another day. Any further conversation anyone wishes to have?
Do you share that
Actually,
with
I'm
everyone
gonna
else?
share it with everyone as soon as
You mean you weren't woken up with all the noise?
Nope.
as soon as the light crests
JB
and
wears
the
earplugs.
time that people would normally start getting up, I start shaking them, every single one. Wake up, wake up, wake up! And as soon as everybody wakes up, I go through everything again. So you hear the whole story.
Huh.
Also, Jim's not a very good drawer, but we won't say anything. Not as good as you, Killian, but, not to compare, but you're better.
What is it with giants and the mothers?
What do you mean?
Well, in my previous companions, there was Was he a half giant? He was a half giant. He was a half giant.
A half giant?
Yeah, he was a half giant. And oh boy, let me tell you, if you said anything about his mother, he would kick the living shit out of you.
Well, we are a
He
pretty
wouldn't kill
close
you, though.
family.
He was very protective of his mother. I believe he was searching for her.
Searching for her? I'm supposed to be searching for someone?
Or I don't quite remember.
Aw.
It's been a little while.
Did he live up to his storm? Well, what kind of giant was he? Because some giants are a little bit. Storm giants are, of course, the best giant. A nom likes us the best.
He had.
Cloud giants are just the worst. They're so mean.
Hell yeah, they are.
Hell yeah.
The sky breaks open. Just one beam of sunlight and the faintest. Hell yeah.
That's what a nom sounds like too, in case everybody.
Oh, jeez.
He did have the greatest hair. His
Thanks for
hair
all
was
those
like
prayers.
perfect.
His hair was perfect?
Oh, it was perfect.
What color was he?
Was he purple? He was purple.
Did he live up to his purple skin? Did he do anything really cool? Oh, the purple giants are the best. Some of them tackle giants and dragons.
He did ride a dragon.
He rode a dragon?
T-Rex.
T-Rex. Oh, you're right.
What?
The dragon. It was a T-Rex.
That is so
It
cool.
was massive, and he rode it like a pony.
I don't.
Ollie, get your pen down.
Oh yeah, I'm already writing this one.
Yeah. Apparently, there's an island of these giant. They're like dragons, but much bigger. T-Rexes.
Do they have little arms?
Little arms that don't know what their purpose is, but they are there.
Whoa.
He just kind of champion styled up on top, just kind of ruled the world on top of this T-Rex. It was quite impressive.
What was his name?
His name was Yanni.
Yanni. Oh! I always confuse him. So we learned about this kid. I always thought his name was like Yippee or Yappy or something. But I think Yanni was it. And he disappeared and it shook the mom disappeared and the council got really, really shooken. And I didn't really know why because I was really young. But
Roll a history check with advantage.
this is my backstory, man.
She says to the sky.
Yeah! Crit.
It was meant to be.
Finally!
As you start thinking about Yappy,
Yappy.
and in particular you think about his mother, that's exactly who you saw in the vision last night.
Guys, I know who I'm supposed to find.
What are you supposed to find?
That was her. That was the one I saw in my vision. The one that looked like my mother. It was his mother. The one who disappeared. That the giant. Oh, I should probably write home. They probably need to know this information.
Wait. She told you to find her son, who you believe is Yanni?
I believe so. That was the only son I've ever heard about. The storm giants never went to go find him. I never knew why. I didn't get it. We're supposed to check out for each other and make sure we're all good, but they never went for him. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit. But I mean, I was really young and I only heard rumors of things. I mean, for Pete's sake, or Nam's sake, I thought his name was Yappy.
And you never actually met his mother.
Mm-hmm.
You've only seen pictures of her and heard stories because
She was gone before.
previous to your mother, she was the one who trained your mother in her profiting.
And I think my mom, I remember her telling some stories about his, and she was really shaken up because I think she trained her. My mom, Yappy's mom trained my mom.
Wait. Is it Yappy or Yanni?
I don't know at this point, man.
I thought it was Yodel.
Well, his name was definitely Yanni.
Are
Yanni.
you sure?
I am
Yappy
positive.
just writes better. It's Yappy. Carry on.
So now we're looking for Yappy. That's what we're doing.
Well, technically his name's Yanni, but for story purposes, because we want to protect those in the story, it's Yappy.
He sounds like someone you don't want to offend very.
Is it possible that he is alive?
Wow.
Wait, you traveled with him. Where is he? We should go find him right now. This obviously was a sign from Anam, and I have to follow Anam's will.
We can't. We have to find Tooth.
This is more important. Isn't your coin more important than finding Tooth? This is my coin.
But we were also tasked with saving the world. I think these kind of they interject and they kind of intersect.
No, because I was sent out by Anam, and I thought it was Anam's will.
As you're arguing, the butterfly emerges out of you.
Do we all see it?
It flutters around you as you immediately go still. You all watch as her eyes go wide. You don't see anything. And you watch as the butterfly flutters around you and then lands on Oliver's shoulder.
What are you looking at?
Roll an insight check.
Grit.
Wow.
You get the sense that the butterfly is communicating to you that Oliver's right. That this is part of the greater task.
I look up at the sky and then back to the butterfly. But aren't I supposed to do Anam's will? And this vision seemed like Anam, but the other one was just a person in Morthos' head. I mean, right, butterfly? And she's staring right at
Why are you
Oliver's
calling me
story.
butterfly?
The butterfly kind of flies over and lands on Morthos' shoulder.
Why?
At least she's moved on from me.
Well, Killian? The one who didn't say I was crazy 3 seconds ago.
Oh no, that was Bart. That was what Bart was thinking. No.
Killian, you know the butterfly, but my ancestors and everything, but this vision seemed like it was from Anam, and I should go find him. But now the butterfly is landing on Ollie's shoulder, and then
By the way,
Morthos' shoulder.
as you're talking and you keep looking over at the butterfly, Bart is looking directly at the butterfly as well.
See, Bart sees it too, guys.
Ray.
So
I
let
think
me
it's
Bart.
let me ask you
Shakes
this,
his head,
Ray.
yes.
So you're saying that the butterfly's ancestors and this vision that you had is Anam, but wouldn't Anam not be in communication with your ancestors as well?
Well-
So maybe it's all tied in together.
so by sticking with you guys, I may find Yanni. Sorry, Yanni.
Yeah, the one with the beautiful hair and the very strong muscles. I think.
Well, everybody has beautiful hair. They're a
The
storm giant, as hers are sticking up wildly.
The butterfly leaves Mortha's shoulder and kind of flutters around Bart, and Bart starts kind of.
Bart, don't hurt them! They're my ancestors!
Right as you say that, Bart smashes right through the butterfly and just passes right through it as it continues fluttering.
Okay, I thought I was gonna like bleep out of existence for
And
a
then
second.
it goes over and lands on June's head.
But I would have to agree
I
with.
feel like something just. Why is Bart looking at me?
Morthos?
Yes.
What? Killian? Why is the butterfly on June's head? Is Anam choosing? Anam is choosing you for the task, June! That's of course what it means, because Anam is the most powerful being ever!
As you say that, it leaves June and lands on JB's head.
Is the butterfly on me?
No! It's on JB, the smartest man ever!
Oh, gods be praised.
Rubius goes to the top of his head.
Come to me, butterfly.
Run
I
away,
wish to
butterfly.
study you.
But Killian, do you think this is me saying, or Nam saying I should, and my ancestors, of course, because, communication, they're all purple skins, and I'm, not, so I can't obviously know Anam's will. But anyways, do you think this is him saying that I should stick with you, and by sticking with you, I'll find Yanni and the mother?
I do think that is a wise discernment of what's happening here. I would not downplay your importance and Anam's ability to love you as well, even though you are not purple.
Well, Anam loves all giants, but he just is more special to the purple ones because they're chosen. I wasn't chosen.
Well, I think maybe a butterfly would say otherwise.
That's just my ancestors.
Oh, well, again,
The butterfly has now moved to Rubius. It's on his.
Oh, it's happening.
It's on his.
It's happening.
Tip of his nose.
And Bart starts to creep along the ground and tries to hit him right in the face.
Got me in my mustache. Back is normal.
Rubius, obviously Anam thinks you're important too, so I'm sorry. And she starts kicking the dirt a little bit about getting mad at you this morning when you thought that I was going crazy, and I got a little bit angry. Well, a lot bit angry because you were
It's
distracting
okay.
me. But I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?
Of course I do. Of
Okay.
course I do. I just wanted to tell you, you dreamed about this boy, okay? And it's
It
quite...
was a girl.
Find the
I only
son.
have dreams about Jack.
It's quite normal to start dreaming about boys at this age. And don't be embarrassed of it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're becoming a big, big girl.
You're making no sense. Anyways, Killian, about this butterfly.
As the butterfly leaves Rubius's nose, it kind of again circles around everyone and kind of goes around them. And then after almost kind of drawing the circle tighter, disappears back inside of you. And as you kind of are thinking about the meaning of this, we're going to do our first giveaway of the evening. And so thank you for sticking around with us and watching this as a way of saying thank you every time we play this ridiculous game. Oh, well done with all the role-playing, guys. That was very funny.
This episode needs to be called Echoes of Yanni.
Or Yappy.
That's the second title.
Knew it started with a Y, though.
As a way of saying thank you, the first giveaway we're going to do tonight is for those sweet blue dice that are there. So type, if you would like your chance to win those dice, we're going to do that giveaway right now. Type into the chat, ! Yoppy, Y-O-P-P-I.
Well done.
Yoppy, Y-O-P-P-I. And we will randomly choose one of the entrants and give you those blue dice. before the session is over tonight, we're also going to give away that veteran fighter and that knoll that you see there circling around. And if we get 3 new subscriptions tonight, we're going to give away that premium elf ranger mini that's leaning in the back of the display there.
How about that cool looking dragon?
That dragon is amazing. I think
I kind of want it.
well, if
We need
get
24
we need
more
50 new subscriptions, and we will give away the big dragon. Every 50 new subscriptions, we give away a large McFarlane dragon, and
Pretty cool, guys.
that is an amazing. It's a sorcerer dragon. The detail on it is super cool. It's got some arcane glyphs kind of tattooed into its wings.
Holding the staff.
Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, stick around, and hey, who knows if we get 50 tonight? But usually every month or so, we end up giving one of those guys away. So 3 new subscriptions tonight, however, and we'll give away the premium mini. So exclamation point Yoppy, YOPPI, for your chance to win those dice right now. All right, back into action. The butterfly has disappeared within your heart, and you are free to continue the conversation however you would.
It flew back, guys. My ancestors are with me. And so is Anam, of course.
Ancestors protect you.
That wasn't a Sunday school song I learned.
Well, we got the 3 new subs, so we'll be giving away that premium mini. Thank you, Mills, as always. Continue.
So, I guess I should continue on the path.
I would agree with that. Morthos, what can
I'm
you...
glad you agree, because I value you a lot.
As I value you.
Thank you for teaching me.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're a great learner.
Except for with patience.
Oh, you're doing better with that already.
Am I really?
Yeah, let's keep practicing.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Morthos, what can you tell us about this Yanni fellow, if he is the one that we're supposed to find now as well?
Well, I don't know what it means. Because the last I saw of him, we were in a cave fighting multiple dragons.
What?
Well, if he was purple skin, he could probably defeat them all.
But he was laying on the ground dead.
That does happen, fighting
Sure
dragons.
looked dead. Don't know if he was actually dead, but he looked dead.
I mean, you probably didn't stick around long enough to, like, take his pulse. There were multiple dragons, probably 3.
In fact, almost everyone in my party was laying around me. And that is when Ajdar told me that I must leave. And I fled.
Oh, wow.
That must have been really hard.
This is the most difficult decision I've ever made in my life.
Huh. Is that why you're so grumpy? I say that out of love.
He's not grumpy.
is-
He's just prickly on the
It is
outside.
difficult when you feel that you might have a way to save the world, but in order to accomplish that, you had to leave behind everyone you loved.
He loved us.
It makes sense now. Yeah, that's why he's so grumpy. I get it. Duly noted.
Where was Yanni when tragedy befell him?
Forlorn Hills.
Yes, the Forlorn Hills.
Do we
Which
know?
is unfortunately, it is very far from here. How far is it? I mean, I would know. I traveled it.
Wait. So, let me get this straight here. You told us everyone you parted with met their demise, yes?
Well,
But now Yanni may be alive.
And I'll be honest, I do not know that they were all dead. In fact, there was one, this cranky old bastard. I'm pretty sure that he is alive, but who knows where the hell that guy got to. Wolfram. But anyway, yes, there was... Everyone was on the ground. No one was moving. The dragons were moving in. There was nothing left to do but flee.
Is that when you got your echo?
It is. Sola, who is, as you've seen my echo, she was a person. And she died in that battle.
Like she was a person in that battle?
She was a person as flesh and blood as you and I.
And now she's like a ghost inside of you?
The only way I can describe it is her spirit left her and entered me.
Are you possessed?
But you could... I think
June's ready to
a
go.
possibility. But
I hate ghosts.
It is in a good way, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Malthus, I need to ask you something.
Yes.
Why did you not return to check on your friends after?
Well,
You say you loved them.
unfortunately, I'm blind. And
Hasn't
when...
stopped you before.
Well, yes, but you must understand that when this radiant energy entered me, I became blind. And if you were to cover your eyes, I highly doubt you could fight very well.
I could shoot you in the dark.
Alright, maybe you could, but
But the point is, your friends might be alive.
they very well could be.
You should
But
go check the Forlorn Hills.
I see. If those people died there, we shouldn't be nowhere near.
You saw what I did to that
location.
Hydra. You think
Let's-
I couldn't take a T-Rex?
let
They
me
were-
tell you, you are the smallest of pimples on their ass. That is where you are in comparison
You
to
know
what
nothing
they
about
are.
T-Rex ass pimples. I do. I've studied them.
With your head up,
They're very hard to spot. They blend in with their scales.
you or this group is in no condition or no strength to take on what we encountered in that cave.
Well,
Not yet, anyway.
it's one step at a time, right? Like,
But
we've got to find Tooth. Not to keep bringing us back to the task at hand, but we've got to find Tooth.
Yep.
We can't save the world until we take this first step.
How far away are we now from?
Have we been walking while talking?
Yeah. This is all going on.
Were your friends destined to save the world?
Oh, please say no. Please say no.
What was their guarantee?
there is no guarantee in this journey.
So
Death
they
in
weren't
Texas.
chosen.
What's it?
They weren't chosen by a higher power.
There might have been things in the background in the works, but it was not like we were chosen by name. Literally by name.
Okay. So, like,
I feel better about our chances.
yeah, all right. That does make me feel a little bit better.
You all continue on, talking about the party that was. June, you get the sense as Morthos is talking about this Sola person that she, and now kind of thinking about the shape and fighting style of his echo, that she too was a monk. A different style of fighting, a little bit more aggressive than your style of kind of finding the pressure points and unleashing kind of venomous.
Puffs.
Yeah, just
That never hit.
Yeah, you're kind of unleashing the venomous points within a creature. But that intrigues you. And you all are also intrigued about this story that Morthos recounts of a battle within the Forlorn Hills against a very powerful foe, dragons, in fact. And this cult that seemed to be cultivating them and training them for a purpose. So you continue on the rest of the day, and you go another couple of days before you approach on the map where you find Fort Kevlan.
I make good berries.
You have your good berries. And as you approach the point on the map, you are on a main road now, because this is a kind of a crossroads point of trade. You for most of this time, we're going kind of cutting across the forested land, so you weren't on a main road. You didn't find anyone else. There were some creatures, woodland creatures that you came across that Rubius were explained to you as rabbits and robins. It's a type of bird. And there was even
He knows it's a type of bird. I whittled him a robin in the very first episode.
And there was
I met him.
also a possum, which you thought was dead.
They do a trick, same as Ollie. They pretend to be dead for short periods of time. And then they come back to life.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Fun fact about the robin, they can fly and they lay eggs.
What color are the eggs?
White.
I always thought they were blue.
It's because they are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so you
okay.
learned some more animal creatures as you continued on. And you are within about half a mile or so of Fort Kevlan when you do find on the side of the road a burned out cart with a charred corpse.
That's humanoid?
Humanoid.
How long ago was the fire?
Roll a investigation check.
Shouldn't have been the one asking.
It's a good question.
Give me a second.
Come on.
Ray has no idea.
It's actually
June
still
wants to see
burning.
how fresh the body is. How long it's been dead.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
16.
Very difficult to say with the burn. As you look it over, it does seem to be either a human or an elf or a half-elf or something of that nature. And you do see what look to be kind of marks in the ground where people were or things were pulled and dragged in the grass and the dirt. And you get the sense that this is, while the embers are cold, it is just the ash of the cart, which is kind of 3/4 of the way burned. Probably happened in the last couple of days. So it's relatively recent.
Anything of use in the cart left?
Nothing. It looks like everything has been kind of scoured.
Ray's gonna start digging a hole.
Was the cart heading towards the fort or away from it?
JB, can you help her out?
With my hammer.
I refuse this time. I'll just watch.
So you dig the hole and you bury the body.
Singing the song again. Put him in.
Okay, very good.
Cover him up.
So
There's too much death in the world, and I'm sick and tired of seeing bodies everywhere, and it's just sad.
You're gonna love where we're going.
I have no idea where we're going.
Fort Kevlan.
So you with being in such proximity to the fort and having a burned out cart, you are all kind of put on edge. And you may continue as you wish.
Should we get off the main road? If something did that to them, should we, approach differently?
Perhaps it was a dragon. They have fire.
They do?
That's all I had to say.
You
Well,
better
why don't
hope
you
it
use
is
your
not a dragon.
binoculars and try to look in the distance? They're pretty big. You'd be able to see
Ruby's
it.
just gonna scan the skies for activity
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
with the binoculars the right way.
Depends on what you roll.
Perception.
Yep. You do have advantage with your binoculars
Ooh.
on perception at distance.
You've actually have never done this before.
Well, let's hope that this works. Okay. That is a 17.
It's a nice, cloudy, sooty, ominous sky as the ash continues to fall, and the visibility is difficult. you don't really see any signs of life save a bird that just kind of...
Ruby says, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Everybody come here quick! 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 Get over here! Come here now! Look at this! Look at this! It's a robin. I told you they exist.
He's learning. He's actually right.
I told you they exist.
How far away from
All I saw were
About a half a mile.
clouds.
from the? Okay.
June face palms.
I think
Haste.
that getting off the road is probably a smart idea. I do want to just mention that things kind of went awry last time at the
Geyser Inn?
Geyser Inn.
Yeah.
Yes, when we decided that some of us individually will go off in different directions.
That's true.
So if we are going to split at all, which I wouldn't recommend unless we're very certain that it's going to work out in our favor, maybe we will stay together.
Well, I actually think the strategy went well last time. It was the execution that sort of latched onto the 5 foot across column that
Listen,
made me
all right,
fall
like
to the
I
ground.
just generally I can make that jump in my sleep. The sun was shining
I'll
and
tell
I
you,
slipped and
no excuses, no blame.
No,
I'm just saying we each have our own talents, and so I don't want to stifle our usefulness and our abilities by just sticking together because we're afraid of messing up.
Oh no, I'm not. It's not quite.
Sounds
what I would
like
say.
you were.
I would just say that if we are going to split up, that we do it in maybe groups that we're certain that we will achieve our goals in, if that makes sense.
Should be.
so what I'm hearing is you want me to run up ahead
No.
right now.
Please no.
You said please. Okay.
How far is the distance between where we are now and where we were with the crab? Like how much traveling was that?
About 3 days.
Do I see? So before we head off the main road, can I see the way the road goes and what the coverage is? Kind of, is it forest
It's
the whole way?
forested. It's forested.
I do have an idea, a way of scouting that may be inconspicuous to all, since we are in a land that would have small creatures running about. I could scout ahead as an animal, chipmunk, squirrel, robin. No, not robin.
Don't say deer.
I could do it.
No, don't do it.
No, dear.
I'd be forced to kill
something
you.
something inconspicuous that would just look like another forest.
Well, there is a little problem, because I promised to never let you out of my sight again, so if you go, then I have to follow you, but I can't shrink down into a little animal.
Have you tried?
So I would say,
JB! Can you transform me into a squirrel? And she's gonna try to get as small as she can.
Yes, I actually can. Well, I won't be transforming you.
No, but like what you did with the tree arms? I could be a squirrel and I could blend in.
I would say
Like
this.
Killian.
I would say this.
Squirrels don't have fun ears. What am I doing?
Perhaps the skills necessary for this task do not include your
I'm actually quite
ginormous
sneaky.
shoulders and arms.
Yeah, but June, you're like the size of a brown bear, like a grizzly bear.
What'd you just call me?
He meant Ray.
Sorry,
Don't worry
Ray.
about it.
Sorry, June. We've just got so connected that you're on my mind.
or
I
I
accept
can
that explanation.
cast a spell that I did last time, but that time you would have to stay within 30 feet
You
of
know
me
what?
again.
I've been itching to see you transform into an animal. Go ahead.
Do we want to get closer?
I think that's probably wise.
Turn into a
we can-
bird. Scout the area.
I can't quite do a bird yet.
You said Robin.
Then I said I can't do that. I'm anxious.
What about a flying
Playing with
squirrel?
my emotions.
Uh,
Okay, turn into a chipmunk. Nobody would hurt a chipmunk. Just go scampering about, looking for nuts.
Everybody else, what are we thinking here?
Yeah, sure. I think we should get closer because that half mile
Is
walk
it-
as
is
a
it long?
chipmunk is
Is-
gonna be like forever.
It would take a while. Yes.
He transforms right as he gets there.
4 days
Which-
later. I'm here, guys.
Which then brings me back to the point of maybe we should traverse down this road through the woods, get closer, find
Off the side.
a
Yes.
visual
Transform me
stanchion,
into a chipmunk,
and
though.
move forward.
I think that's wise.
I cannot transform anyone. into anything.
So
Jean wants
so
to look
we're
at the
moving-
drag marks on the carriage and see where they were.
Roll
Do
a
they lead off into the
perception
forest?
Finally.
Somebody.
21.
Couple curious things with your 21.
She's been just looking at this the whole time.
It's a good thing.
It looks like there were at least 3 sets of drag marks. And as you look more closely, it seems to be feet. 2 that were kicking, 1 that was still. And alongside of them, there seem to be 2 sets of footprints that are not drag marks, but steps of what look to be like a dog's footprints, except much larger.
Are you all seeing this?
No.
No.
Look, come
now
here.
I am.
Come here.
I got kind of distracted by wanting to be turned into, or illusioned into a chipmunk.
Understandable. But if you look here, this looks like multiple people were dragged away from this burning wagon.
Like they were saved?
Do I see blood in the prints?
There is dried blood around, and then it goes with one of the set of footprints for a little bit and then stops.
Do you see the blood here? That's not very good when the blood that's supposed to be on the inside is now on the outside.
But what happens if they found a burning cart and then they got dragged away into safety?
It looks like 2 of these were very agitated, as if they were kicking.
Oh,
What's
that's
that
not
other
good.
set of tracks?
This-
and there has been 3 tracks at all the other sides.
What's the other one? It's a big dude with hairy feet.
I don't know if that's quite what that is. A big dude? What is a dude?
What is the 3rd set of tracks?
Does it
It looks
Does not look human-like
wolfish.
to me.
It looks like a big dog.
look like Oliver picks up his foot?
It's Zuaz!
Wasn't Zeus a dog?
Yes.
Like a normal dog?
He was a pretty stocky dog, but yes, a dog nonetheless.
They are not. They're larger than your footprints,
But they look like
but similar kind of clawed, padded feet,
bipedal.
bipedal.
Wait. It's like mine, but bigger.
I want to try and identify what kind of tracks those are.
Go ahead and roll a survival check.
I would know this. Okay, 7.
Would you know it though?
Yes.
Would you?
You have no idea.
I rolled a 22.
You know and don't say
You,
it.
however, discern that these are definitely humanoid, and as you kind of go through your mind, roll a history check with advantage.
Ugh.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think I have a.
You know that there are creatures much like Tabaxi that are also bestial but still humanoid that could very well make these. There's some like dog type of creature, but you don't quite know. And there's werebeasts, like, you know, it could be like a werewolf type of a thing that could fit. So it could be something like that. It's just you don't quite know.
Well, I think it's some kind of were animal. You know, some kind of beast, but that again walks on 2 legs like our friend Ollie. But it looks bigger. Maybe some type of dog or something abnormal. If you will, it's
So a monster that we're gonna have to fight.
Yeah,
yeah,
sounds about
probably.
right. Yeah.
She takes out her shield and she pops it so it's in place, and she stands in front of Ollie. I'm ready.
I think we should try to desperately find out exactly what we're up against before we rush in and, like, I'm still recovering and I don't want to, like, die again. So I'd love to know what we're up against.
I whisper to Killian, is this patience?
Yeah, this would be a moment for patience.
Okay, Ollie, I'm with ya.
Have you returned from your chipmunk mission?
We haven't started that yet.
We've been reading the whole
okay.
time.
It brings back to, I think we should travel closer off the road.
June takes a few steps into the
stealth.
woods to see if the drag marks keep going or if they just kind of.
As you
scuffle
look,
off.
they continue straight down the road in the direction of where you know the fort to be.
All right. So I would suggest let's get off the road and everybody stay within about 30 feet of me as I cast Pass Without a Trace as we move.
Okay,
up
so you're
towards
going into the road. Everyone
Stealthily.
roll a stealth check,
Stealthily.
please.
Bart
You
is
have
going to
advantage.
look for our footprints,
Oh my gosh.
and he's going to try to sweep behind so it only looks like what.
Okay, so you are in
Is
the
the-
back,
yeah.
and roll a survival check.
We don't have advantage, do we?
No.
he does because of the boots.
What is his add-on to
You
it?
have, you do have advantage because of your.
20.
Nice.
12.
Okay.
It's 28.
23.
Add 10
It's
because
everybody
you have
has
passed without a
30,
trace. 33
28.
What is this?
28.
Natural 20.
plus, so 38.
38.
Yep.
23.
23.
19.
Stealth? Oof.
32.
18.
26.
Okay.
I can see.
With the 12 for
You
the
don't need to
sweeping.
stealth. You're a chipmunk.
I'm not a chipmunk yet.
So he's not. Yeah, he's cast
But I
pass
will-
without a trace, which lasts for an hour, I believe.
Yeah, concentration for an hour. Let me check.
Okay. So you continue on along the road,
Yep, an hour.
Well, just off.
Yeah, we're all.
along
Gotcha.
along
Parallel.
parallel to the road. Yep, in the woods, and you're all pretty sneaky. In fact, at times, June in particular, you could have swore that you stepped on a branch that would have broken loudly, but it seems to almost be magically muffled as you all continue through the forest, and the kind of dampening aura emanating from Killian assists all of you as you go even more quietly than you otherwise would. You continue on, and as you go, you actually see a little fawn, a deer, a little white-tailed deer, eating something as a bit of sun kind of trickles down in this clearing, just kind of highlighting this fawn that is there. And there's a little rabbit next to it, and it's almost as if they're having like a little bit of a conversation as the rabbit begins to kind of tap its foot against the ground, and they kind of are looking at each other, and then they clearly don't have any awareness of you. You guys are so silent as you creep up, and then they just kind of stay there eating as
How close are they?
I
They're-
grab Bart's tail.
they're about 20 feet away.
This isn't Bart. This is Oliver.
Oh,
Oliver,
well, I grab your tail.
Oliver, you all watch. Oliver's in the back as he's kind of sweeping the footprints,
Don't do it.
This is me.
and
There's two skunks in between us and them.
Are they?
and
Don't do it. In a bunch of flowers over there.
Oh. All right.
your passive perception and your passive perception, you would both notice that Oliver has stopped sweeping and is just staring intently at this little fawn.
I
Talking to the mic.
Ollie,
Yes.
I think we should keep moving.
Yeah, but there's horns and hooves.
Well, I think,
It deserves to die.
No. I think this beast over here is quite calm. You may let's just focus. Remember how I told Ray to practice some patience? This is a time for you to practice patience. If the fawn is here later,
I can kill it.
we can come back and kill it. Yes.
As Ollie looks at Killian, I throw some minor illusions up to cover up the scene of the deer.
You look back and it's gone. It's scampered off.
You scared him off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's keep moving quietly. Okay.
Do I smell anything?
Roll a perception check.
Gosh, you're the worst.
22. I was hoping to fail.
You smell nothing.
Good. That actually doesn't work. just thought for effect.
You
All right,
but
dog.
keep moving.
You all continue on. Because you're going slowly, it takes you about an hour to really make your way. And as you approach the edge of the woods, you see the fort in the distance. And there is about a 15-foot stockade made of wood all around it, with 4 towers of wood standing up about 20 feet with their own stockade at the top on the 4 corners. The road leads right up to the front of the stockade. You do see kind of the tops of what look to be roofs inside the stockade, but you cannot see within. And the trees are all cleared within 100 feet of the stockade. And so you're about 100 feet away from the stockade. It's just open as you approach. The thing that you all see as you stealthily kind of come to a stop is the entrance into the stockade has a large log that's just kind of thrown there. Looks to be a felled tree that's been tossed into place. On the outside of the log, you see 3 creatures with spears and shields that have long snout noses, that have brown and tan and black mottled fur. They look like hyenas, except men. And they're kind of barking and snapping at each other, looking out at the road, kind of stepping on their haunched legs. They stand about 7 feet tall. On average, there are some that are shorter. And
you see Ray kind of straighten and go on her tippy toes a little bit.
behind the large log, you see 3 more, which have long bows kind of slung behind their back, that are also just kind of out looking back inside at something over their shoulder, and then back out. And you catch the glimpse of a small patrol of 3, which kind of turn the far corner of the stockade and make their way out.
How tall are the trees next to us?
The trees go up maybe 20, 30 feet.
So not tall enough to see over the...
You could take some time to try to find one, but you'd have to kind of search along the line to find it.
I could do that if you want to turn into a chipmunk and take a look.
I'm not sure turning into a chipmunk from here is going to be helpful. We're 100 feet out and there's no cover from here to there.
Do you think they're looking for a chipmunk across the 100-foot spans?
Do I see any other, other animals?
It's like a
No,
minefield.
I mean, it's just
a trap.
It's a minefield. You just see a flower. That's horrible.
are they hunting for fun on their border?
Animals hunting for fun on the border.
Are they just, is there just no, have they shot things
Oh,
needlessly?
you
because
don't
they're-
see any animals around.
Okay.
No,
Like,
this is too calm for this.
that corner over there. Like, I'm not saying you go right at him. I'm saying you kind of zig when they're zigging. And chipmunks can climb, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just climb up there, peek around. Come on, Beck. It's 100 yards. Feet or yards?
Feet.
It's 100 feet. It's a third of a football field.
Favorite game of the Tabaxi.
It's true.
Well, real quickly, what are we doing here? What's our plan?
We need information to have a plan.
So we're just gonna go in and shoot them all?
I think that's a terrible idea, yeah.
Well, it's probably gonna be what ends up happening.
It doesn't necessarily have to.
It's gonna be what happens.
The other thing is, the minute I go outside of 30 feet,
You better hope
you
not.
guys will not be as stealthy as you are right
But
now.
we could
Let's go up and talk to them.
But we would just not move. We
Yeah.
would just stay put.
Are these trees rather thick? Like, does it look like I could hide behind one?
You are all about 10 feet off of the tree line as you have this conversation, remaining stealthy, but they are cleared for a purpose, right? It's as you look up, you do see on the kind of the three corners that you can see the most clearly, because it's a bit of that at a kind of a skewed angle to you guys. So you see kind of the three. There is one of these dog-like creatures in each of the towers at the corners of this fort.
What do you think?
Oh, JB, I have an idea. What happens if you make like a female dog noise all the way where they're out on the other side, because you can make the noises, and then the dog creatures think that there's like a little female dog there, and then remember the birds and the butterflies talk we were having? And then the dogs, they kind of run away, and then we can storm the castle!
It could work.
Did you forget we're trying to hide in the woods here?
Well, that's why you
scream
said
whispering.
it, can't
She
you?
was scream whispering.
Yeah, I'm stage whispering. I rolled a 32. I think I've got a
you
little
guys
bit
are,
of lean
you're all
weight.
stage
Now,
whispering, you're fine.
I think you may be onto something. I would like to draw some of them out instead of us just...
Or maybe a dragon. Can you put like a fire-breathing dragon over there? Roar!
I may be able to do that.
Well, hold on. There was a wagon burned and destroyed on the road. Now, I don't know what that says to you guys, but to me that sounds like these are the kinds of people who would make any opportunity attack on someone unguarded if they thought so.
Right.
Would we be able to make an illusion or create a fake scene of someone wounded or hurt or an otherwise...
Or how about just
That's easy.
another caravan
Exactly.
with easy pickings?
Exactly.
We draw
And we
'em-
could make the noise of that and draw them out.
We draw them out far enough away that doesn't alert anyone inside. Maybe take care of them. Bring them down a peg or two.
Can we see the road from where we're standing?
Well, how do we know these are evil people?
Right.
Or
Ray,
hyenas?
yes.
What if they're good dogs?
Would I be
they
able
burned
to
the
tell?
caravan.
How do
Yeah,
we
would
know
I be
that?
able to tell that
Because
the
of the
Poppins-
tracks that June found.
Before they
Sure.
find us,
We don't
tell
know.
me what to do.
I like to draw them out
I'm okay with that. I would say maybe we get well, that's too late now.
further back.
Yeah. I will say that they may have attacked that caravan only because of the people inside of it, though.
So you're having this conversation, you watch as the patrol kind of emerges. Still about 100 feet away from you, but kind of makes its way around. You watch it. Goes back, and you kind of get the sense that it takes about a minute or so for the patrol to go all the way around the fort.
All I'm saying is you guys are assuming that the people in that caravan were good.
It doesn't really matter if they were good.
We've killed a lot of people.
Never caravans.
JB, roll a history check, please.
So now you get a conscience.
23.
You
Just
have
killing people.
heard of gnolls before. You know that they are vicious creatures that have an abyssal origin and are universally avoided due to their inherent
Evil.
evil.
Just say it.
June's like, word.
Word to you,
And they are scavengers. They will pick on the weak and are often used as foot soldiers in larger engagements. There's a clear hierarchy to how they operate, and they are just take no prisoners. In fact, they eat their prey most of the time. Eat their enemies most of the time. They will eat humans, elves, dwarves, doesn't matter. You also know that the Zent have been known to hire them to do jobs that are particularly gruesome fights. So this is how you know of them. But you've never interacted with them yourself. They are intelligent, not too intelligent, but the ones in charge are intelligent enough to have a conversation with and to be reasoned with.
tell me what to do.
Well, I think we have 2 options.
No. Which option should I do? Should we do? Choose, speaker.
Well, I like the idea of drawing them out unless we have something to trade them for Mr. Tooth. Anybody got anything?
Maybe we could pretend. I have the globe from his ship.
You also have no idea if Mr. Tooth is here.
That's true.
That
All
is
right,
very
I
true.
will
Let's,
create a caravan rolling down the road.
Put an illusion
these
of
are
Mr.
these are
Tooth.
evil.
Well, I would also love to utilize one of these cards during this occasion, and so when a gnoll sees the cart, I'm gonna throw a cart. It's gonna be fun.
It's fun. Can we do it a little further back from like the patrol so that we don't draw any unwanted attention then? Other than the ones we want attention from.
Well, about 120 feet up that way up the road, I will put the cart, and it'll head towards us.
Okay.
I like that. We should also probably, if we can, take if we don't draw the unwanted attention, take one alive and see what we can get out of it.
Well, I was going to suggest something. Okay. Once we lure them away, put an illusion of Tooth and hear what they say. They might say something like, "We thought you were our prisoner," and then we'll know he's here.
Yes, I just have no idea what Tooth looks
Yeah,
like.
we don't know what it
Well,
looks
he has a
like.
big tooth.
All right, so should we?
So which is there a path, another road that leads off? Like this heads towards this. Is there a side road that goes off to the right?
From the 2 sides that you see, there's only the main road that leads up. There is another road that leads out and around the other side that disappears behind the stockade that you can't see.
Can you make
you
the
could
carts?
you could certainly take time to reconnoiter the rest of it. It's around 5 in the evening, so you have about 2 hours of light left before night falls.
Can you make the cart smell like beef jerky or something? Like they're meat traders?
Yes.
That's not a bad idea, though.
Yes, I
Blood.
can.
It's
Something
actually a
injured.
great idea.
Yes, I can.
Weak prey.
Okay.
Should I have it just roll up and stop with no horses, or
No.
Wouldn't
It
it
should
make
be
sense?
moving along, like so people don't get suspicious.
You know what it could be?
here's the deal: as soon as an arrow hits it or doesn't hit it, they will know.
We didn't see an arrow though in the other cart,
And
did
this
we?
will be a resource I will not be able to use in battle.
Well, have the wagon come in, and then have them see them, and then turn around saying, "Oh no, we're defenseless." And then have
Exactly.
it go.
Yes. Yes.
Say, "We forgot our weapons at home."
And then a
Something.
sausage link falls out the back when they about face, and it gets them running.
and then
Dangling
it
from
goes
the
a
back.
little
well,
bit faster than them, so they keep
I
chasing
think
it.
All right.
it's
the
all
way.
just worth a shot.
Killian, I need you to watch the nose. As I bring the cart up, you tell me when they notice it, and then I'll make it shout those words.
Are we all ready? Should we all?
You can
Wait,
shout.
We should all probably hold an action.
It'll be in your voice.
With that roll, you would know that gnolls speak Abyssal.
Do you know Abyssal?
Well,
If
you
someone
could-
told me
you don't
that,
have to
I would
speak
say
a
that I
language
knew
to
Abyssal.
understand. That's oh my god! I have to run.
All right. So gnolls prefer to speak in Abyssal. Could you?
I know that language.
Oh,
I mean, not extremely well, but
Can you teach JB how to say "Oh no"?
do
in
I
Abyssal?
know Abyssal? I don't know Abyssal.
you want me to teach you to say "Oh no" in Abyssal?
No, I just want you to shout it in the general direction of the cart.
Well,
No.
will they not
They'll
know
hear
where it
us over
comes from?
here.
Yeah,
Tell-
it'll have to come from the cart.
Listen, June. Tell him what to say, and then have him do it, or else our position will be given away.
As in from the cart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The random caravan speaks
Speaks
Abyssal.
Abyssal.
Listen,
They
they're
also
stupid.
probably speak common.
Yeah. I don't know if they do, but the Abyssal would be more for trying to direct the gnolls rather than to speak from the cart. I presume that's the way that
Yes.
Some dark language.
presume that would be what
Hope they don't speak Abyssal.
JB would be
Parcel
thinking.
tongue.
As you guys figure out what you are going to do, we are going to give away the minis. We're going to do the minis giveaway. And so if you would like to win the knoll that is there, as well as the veteran fighter and the elf ranger premium miniature, type in to the chat right now for your chance to win ! Knoll, Gnoll. That's ! Knoll. And we will randomly select someone to win that mini. If you have other friends who you want to invite in, then get them in here now, and they could win those 3 miniatures, the Knoll, the Veteran Fighter, and the Elf Ranger Premium Mini, since we got 3 new subs tonight. So go ahead and enter that in, ! Knoll, for your chance to win.
All right, the Knoll guys walking around. Do they have long-range weapons?
It's a good one.
Yes.
2 do not, 1 does. There were 3 of them. I rolled a 2, 2, and an 18.
Would I know when that third one is going to take a bathroom break?
You could certainly wait and watch the sequence longer.
All right, so when when those patrol knolls are closest to us.
Just need to find out exactly what we're doing.
Okay, side note. What does it look like if I were to stand at the door there looking forward? Does the road just go straight forever? Is there a turn somewhere close to where we are?
The road comes in here, but then it continues off down. It kind of
No. I mean the road that we avoided walking on.
Right.
So looking onto that road from there.
Yep.
Is it just straight for miles, or is there a turn?
No, I mean the road goes right into the fort, and then continues on around the fort.
I know, but
I'm not
I'm a
understand-
knoll
Right.
looking out.
Right.
Do I see road and then trees, or is it road?
No,
and road and road?
it the road comes out about 100 feet towards you.
Okay.
And then there is a bend after about 30 feet, kind of disappears around the bend.
Perfect. It was made for this. Okay.
How tall are the walls in the fort again?
I'm just gonna do it.
15 feet
See what
stockade, 20 foot towers on the corners.
Unless you have another suggestion.
Once we draw them out,
What-
sorry to cut you off, but once we draw them out, wouldn't it be possible to, if Ray helped boost somebody else up, we could go over the walls?
Do
and
we
then
know
lock
how
them out?
many people we may be drawing out is another question. I can still do a chipmunk or mouse or rat or something and potentially get a better idea of what we're dealing with. This is the last shot for that. If once we do the whole cart thing, that option's out the window.
Well, I think we're attempting to get rid of the patrol so that we may move further in on our plan, which I don't know what it is, but I could throw a card across the field and distract them that way.
So you really want to do that? Okay.
I've learned that these are pretty crazy. They're random, and so I could just throw a random card. It could be a wee old ranger, or it could be a lich or a dragon. You'd never know. I'm pretty excited about it.
Would you
say
call
go
them your
with it.
magic beans?
Is there,
Your deck of illusion
so
there.
is there any benefit to knowing exactly how many are inside the fort before we draw them out? I'm not saying we don't draw them out.
We can only prevent chaos so far.
Now listen, why are we not reasoning with them?
Please.
Did you not hear everything he just said, that they're inherently evil and they chew on
We
their prey?
can't take on an army.
Well, that's why we have to be creative. We can't just, as you put it at first, just, shoot, because that's how it's going to end. We got to figure something out here, because we're going to die if we don't.
Okay, so we distract the patrol.
Yes.
Right? Okay. We walk up to the gate.
No,
We die.
we don't walk up to the gate.
What? Hold on now. I'm remembering when JB so excellently lured was an ogre off of a cliff. Was it an ogre? I can't remember what
Oh,
creature
yeah,
it
it was something big and ugly.
Something big and ugly. Well, these things are quite big and ugly as well. You have a spell that removes earth. Correct?
I can move dirt.
Yes. So, much like you did then, why don't we, on the road around the corner, create a pit that they can fall into once we lead them past with the wagon and use an illusion to cover that up?
And then we bury them alive.
Exactly.
Or we use the
I'm
dirty
not.
earth to collapse the wall so we can get in the structure.
I'm not sure how many things you need me to think about
Yeah.
at the same
I
time.
need you to do
so I
everything
think-
at once.
I think this is.
Drink some coffee
I'll
first.
split my brain.
We may have to do
parts.
some thinking on our feet, but if we can draw the patrol out, I would say how maybe once the patrol has gone past our position, we can then get closer to the wall to understand what we're dealing with. Is that the idea?
Yes.
And when the
Yes.
patrol
So no one
finds
wants to do a pit
that
trap?
it's an illusion.
Well, if we draw them out far enough, we might be able to just kill the patrol.
What I'm
I
thinking.
mean, you can. I'm not. going
Here's
to.
what I'm thinking. If I take the cart around this bend that they can't see, as soon as it appears, I'll have a lady scream inside the cart. Hopefully that attracts the patrol, okay? Then I'll throw the cart in the middle of the field, approximately 40 feet away from the knolls. Hopefully that brings some more out, okay? And then I will drop all that and cast web on the doorway so nobody can come out. And then you all jump on the guys that went to the field, and then we swarm the place.
Nah,
I like it.
love
I
it.
don't. I don't,
Done. Go.
I don't hate the plan, except we have no idea how many are inside.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Go find out first. See if you come back.
Okay.
When
Go
they
ahead.
come out, when the patrol comes out, I have a special shot
Go ahead.
that'll
Scout
go
mission.
through all of them.
Yeah.
Do it.
I want to climb.
All
Oh,
right.
you
Scout mission first, I suppose.
Okay,
That's
so
best.
we want to scout first. That's
Yes.
okay. Make sure that you do not move once I leave your presence.
Oh, how about I
And
just
you do
throw
not
you
talk.
up really tall? As a chipmunk, I'll just throw you up into the air and I'll catch you.
I don't
think
like
that's
that idea.
unnecessary. He can just walk across an open field as a chipmunk.
So, does everybody understand? Do not talk, do not move while I'm gone.
JB, can you turn me into a tree?
Unless they go to
I have
I'm going
too
to-
many things to think about right
Give
now.
me, if you do not hear from me in approximately 5 minutes,
Jay,
uh,
I can message
do
with
something
you.
else. Okay. All right.
Oh,
So I'm gonna transfer not into a chipmunk, but into a mouse.
Okay.
Thinking that,
mouse.
yeah, some kind of field mouse.
Can they climb walls?
Oh, mice can climb anything.
They can't.
Clearly, you've never had mice.
I would.
They do not have a climbing speed like chipmunks do.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna transfer into a chipmunk.
I was asking the leading question.
And or squirrel. What do I think would be more?
They're
both
mechanically the
thing?
same.
Okay.
Mechanically the same.
And I will. So we're like north.
So you guys are kind of parallel or catty corner to this here.
Oh, out that
So you're kind of it's kind of skewed. You're, oop, there goes the pointer. You're catty corner to this, about 100 feet away.
I would like to come to like past that parapet and up the wall, kind of in the middle of that side wall.
Kind of over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your stealth check. Your pass without a trace is still active, but only for you. So add 10 to whatever you roll.
Oh, this is how it starts.
19 with the plus 10.
Yeah. Solid 4.
I'm
Moving
gonna
on.
try to track him as he heads to the.
You suck.
See if any kind of.
It was
vision-
on 20 and then turned over.
to 19.
So you're keeping track of him?
I'm trying.
JB?
If anything goes wrong, I'll start the process.
Very good.
I like
So
that.
you watch as he kind of scurries along right up to the top of the tower, or the base of the tower, and goes along the bottom and then scurries right up as the patrol kind of emerges around the other side. and starts walking past him as he starts climbing up the side. And so we're gonna put Killian here.
He's so tiny.
Aww. He's so cute.
And as you look over, please roll a perception
Roll
check.
well.
With the bonus
I'm gonna
of
guide it. Oh, no, I
a
can't guide
chipmunk.
He does
Go
have
ahead and guidance yourself.
he does have
No, thank
sick
you.
chipmunk senses.
Ooh. What is this perception?
Perception.
How's it 27?
As a chipmunk?
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean,
Wisdom is a stat that you keep. So you keep.
Oh,
it's-
is it?
It's just perception.
Very good.
It's only physical.
So, okay,
stats.
you look out and you see
I was joking. Not that part. The first part. Yeah.
you see a couple different things. First of all, you see a large building to your left that has the roof torn off of it, or rather a portion of the roof torn off of it. It looks like there was a battle here that took place. And so there's a lot of damage to the structures within the fort. And there's blood on the dirt and sand that is throughout the fort. You see what look to be some beds that are toppled over and turned, and you see kind of the topmost part of a knoll that seems to be much larger than the rest.
Oh boy.
You look down directly in front of you, and you see many, many knolls lined up at 2 tables.
We got this.
And on these 2 tables,
Oh no.
Or 2 people.
there are several corpses
Perfect.
that are
Delicious.
Anyone have animate corpse?
several corpses that are
Not
being
yet.
that are being chewed upon. One looks to be a merchant of some sort. One looks to be a soldier.
Can tell by the boots.
Rest in peace. Let's go.
Says
You look over to the right, and you see another large structure. This one is a little bit more intact. You don't quite know what is inside. You do see a double doorway here. And as you are watching, you watched another very large gnoll walks out, yells some things in a language that you don't understand. All the gnolls kind of stop, look at him, and they all kind of like give their shouts of affirmation and continue as he disappears inside. Another gnoll comes out behind him and barks something, turns around. You do notice that this one is a female gnoll, as she is a little bit more shapely than the others, a little bit smaller.
name's Nala.
You look across the way and over the tops of the knolls.
Oh, that one just fainted.
He just dove in face first into the meal. You see a open barn, which with blood everywhere, and essentially just horse carcasses that are strewn about. And as you look, it looks like there's a pile of bones in here as well. This seems to be where they're getting rid of the bones of the individuals. You cannot see behind this building. You have to move around to see any further.
How long does your thing last?
5 hours.
Oh, alright.
How long have I been gone?
It's been about a half an hour as you took your time to get up, and you are observing this, watching all of this.
Okay.
You see no sign of prisoners anywhere.
Where's the patrol at?
The patrol has walked around several times. You do watch as the gnoll that was face first walks behind the building, and you hear some screaming.
Not Noel screaming.
No. Please! No! You've already taken my husband! Please!
That's enough for me.
Let's hope he had life insurance.
Oh my goodness, June.
I'll head back to the group then.
Okay.
Stealthily.
Go ahead and roll your stealth check.
22.
You make your way back to the group.
I relay that.
So inside this fort, there are lots of these gnoll creatures, as you would say. A few very large ones. There is a female one. She was, each creature has its own special qualities and beauty within.
Are you really defending the abyssal creatures right now?
Well, I think, everybody deserves a shot at redemption.
Sure.
But maybe these two are
beautiful. No,
That's what we just
a little
talked about,
bit too
June.
far because they are eating a couple people on their tables. Looks to be a merchant and a soldier.
Excuse me, they're eating a couple people?
People. Yeah, people. And
Redemption void.
yes, I think so too.
You
That
said that
was
very
my.
casually, right?
Well, I'm just relaying information at this point.
you did describe the beauty of the female Noel before you described the people
I just
eating.
said that. Well, she was not one of them eating. Anyways.
Oh, fair. Good distinction. All right.
There was some
someone make
screaming
sure he's not
involved. The only part of
Hold your head down.
the only part of the fort that I could not see was the southeastern quadrant because there's a building in the way. But that is where I did hear screaming of the humanoid nature that I did understand. Something about you already took my husband. Please don't take me. I think there is room to say that these are evil creatures. There's probably about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, somewhere around 20 that I could see.
We could take them.
And they may or may not have Mr. Tooth, but I do say that it may be even worth saving this one innocent soul if we can.
So there's a prisoner quarters, and one of the most important things we needed to find out if, one of the prisoners was Tooth.
Well, I've been gone for quite a while, and I did not want to worry you anymore. Do you want me to go back? I can go back.
No, not at this point. Yeah. Feels like
Well, would you like me to try to pull them out?
let's do your plan.
All right, I'm gonna start small. So
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna wait for the Knoll Patrol to be around
The Knoll
as
Patrol.
close to us as we can,
What
as
time
they
is it?
are.
At night, it's around... It's around 6 o'clock. You got about an hour of daylight left.
Sorry,
That's another
I
reason I,
didn't want
came
to cut
back.
you off.
And so I will use, once they're up closer towards us, I will put my rings together and use one to create a voice coming from the road towards the fort. Just a human shouting something like,
I am back as a human.
hurry up! We must save them! I can't believe we lost them! And then, over and over again, I'll use the one and then I'll use the other one to do the same thing. They've got to be just ahead! They've got to be just ahead!
So this is just minor illusion?
Correct.
Just the voices.
That's right.
Okay.
Do they react?
I rolled a 2, 5, and a 3 on my perception check.
So no.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna just keep doing it until they realize.
Eventually, the middle
See what they
one's
say.
ears kind of stand up. And they kind of looks out and then kind of says something to the other
They must have taken our people.
as it
Can we stop to go to the bathroom first?
Are we there yet?
the three kind of are listening to this. They
Kill those dirty dogs.
they
And then I'll make the sound of horse galloping and cartwheels coming from the edge as well. Just
Okay.
Growing slightly
So you
louder.
kind of are making this. By this time, the patrol has come along, and the patrol kind of stops on the road next to those three as well. And they all kind of converse, and they begin. They turn around, and they're all talking amongst themselves.
Great, we're letting them prep. It's good.
Yeah.
Scream more urgently.
I think we should try to negotiate.
As you watch as these three kind of press themselves,
We can still do
I speak up.
kind of this one goes prone or kneels down or something, and the 6 that are here begin rushing down the road.
6?
6 towards all of you, because you're just off of the road around the bend, as they are bearing down on the road in the direction of these sounds.
All right.
They begin to veer off
I'm going to change the sound.
and go towards the woods near where you're hiding to hide themselves in the woods.
That's perfect.
And as they're rushing forward, you're preparing to cast your spell as you all are kind of wide-eyed, looking at the oncoming gnolls and looking at JB, kind of like figuring out what we're gonna do. And that's where we're gonna pick up our session next week.
Oh no.
Go for an hour.
And we need a week to plan this. And I'm not here next week, so that's
Oh no.
So thank you all for joining us as we got right to the precipice of a little gnoll encounter.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Is that the one?
Is it dragon?
Ogre mage.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You've seen one of
I
those.
Can play with that.
So we are going to
Throwing that in the woods.
pick this up here next week. We hope that you enjoyed this time of some role playing and preparation. Congratulations to the winners of the dice and the minis, D&D player and Chef a la Death. And we will get those out. Remember, we'll send the thing at the end of the month in case you guys win multiple stuff, which certainly happens sometimes to you lucky guys out there and gals. So we hope that you join us again next Tuesday night. We're here every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern Time on Twitch. And if you'd like to catch up on any past episodes, remember they're all up on YouTube, including the first 12 episodes of this campaign, which we just started at the, when we could all get back together after the pandemic. So, watch us on YouTube, watch us here on Twitch, follow us on Instagram, LDR_DM, and our Twitter account at LootDieRepeat, as we like to see this community continue to build. So, until then, we really appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night at 7:30 when we will continue to loot, die, and repeat. Cheers, everyone.